Yeah.
So let's talk now about the problems. The problems are not keeping you. You've been there? How long more do you have to go? You've been there for a few months. How long do you have to go?
About 6 months.
Okay. Will you be able to, if everything remained the same, will you be able to complete your course?
Yeah.
Now, what are you taking?
Cosmetology.
And okay, so now, again, I'm asking this for a reason. What do you want?
I want fairness in the school and for them to be professional. Really, that's the biggest thing
So
for
you
them.
heard a lot of people. You heard a lot of people complaining. You've observed a lot of problems, and you thought, you know what? People should know about this. This school should be held accountable. Are they cheating anyone? Do you know, or are they just, schlock?
No, they're cheating people. Yes,
In what
they're
way?
definitely
Now,
cheating
how
people.
are they actually cheating people?
Just like when I signed up, so my friend took this course 5 years ago. I know everything that was supposed to come in her kit, and we didn't get half of what was supposed to come in her kit.
Give me an example of something really eating at you that you didn't get.
Well, for me personally, it would be like all the skincare products.
Okay.
We're supposed to get all these skincare products.
But that's what I'm asking. They're not cheating like taking money and not doing the education. We're talking about, I know they're big things to you, but little things here and there. They're like skimping.
Yeah.
What are the students doing about it? Are there students in other programs also upset, or are they all in cosmetology?
Oh, no, other students as well, medical.
Give me an example of what people are complaining about. Do you guys have meetings, or is it on social media? Where do you guys talk?
Well, several times students have gone and tried to talk to Michael to fix the problem.
And Michael is who?
He's one step down below the CEO. He manages all the campuses.
Okay. And so have you guys met with Michael?
Yes, my husband actually went in there and had a meeting with him personally as well.
What did Michael say?
Nothing. He just basically gave him a roundabout, that they're the best school and this is why we should be here. And I don't know, and that's funny too because the price went up $4,000 and we still didn't get half of what it was in our kits.
Now, when you say in your kits, was there a contract somewhere that spelled out what you were supposed to get that you didn't get? Like, can we call them and say, listen, we heard from a student. She's unhappy. She says she didn't get what she was supposed to get. Where is that list of what you were supposed to get? Not what your people used to get, but where they obligated themselves by contract or anything. Do you have anything like that?
On the internet website, we do have a picture before they changed it. That this is what you'll get when you sign up.
Okay. But that's not a contract. I guess what I need to know is, when you signed up, is there anything that guarantees a certain amount of stuff that you did not get?
I guess I would have to actually look through it. I don't know for sure.
That's what I'd love to know. I mean, we would call the school, but I'll tell you right now, if we call the school, they're going to say, well, we're doing the best we can. They're not going to say, we can't say to them, you're cheating students. How would I prove that they're cheating? Unless you signed a contract or some kind of an agreement that said you were going to get this, this, and this, or another program.
Well, I do have one thing. My friend Destiny on the medical program at night still has not received her laptop, and that I know she was supposed to get for sure.
Can you also have her contact us? We will call the school if you can do that for us. I just need to hear some solid breach of contract. And I don't doubt what you're saying is true, and I know a lot of people get upset about things, but what we really need is to see how they're violating promises or marketing promises. That's really the one. Now, Connie called yesterday. I want to take her real quick. So call us back, please, Angela, or have that person call us, or look through your own contract and give us something we can go to them with. Connie, when you called yesterday, I was just looking at your call. You said they towed a vehicle from Waterfront Apartments. And I said, okay, here's the deal. If your son parked there, even though it was his truck, it was newly his truck, he went across the street and he got towed. And I said, on the surface, it looks like nothing was wrong. I said, did he comply with anything? What had to be done? And then I wanted to also give you the good news. And that is, no matter how much you owe, or they say you owe, they have to finance it for you. They have to allow you to get it out of there. So you don't have to pay the full amount. Are they insisting on the full amount?
Well, the deal is, you were talking about registering with the apartment complex. Well, the office closes at 5.
No, I get that, but that's not their problem. I don't want to keep going over this.
Okay.
I'm going to see, Connie. I promise you, I'm on your side, but I need to tell you this. On the surface, your son took a vehicle they never seen before. It doesn't matter if he owned it. It never was there before. He parked in the parking lot, got out of the truck, and went across the street to eat. They did nothing wrong by towing it, okay? Nothing. What I need to know is if they are now going to do things correctly, and that is to allow you to get the truck back, or the SUV, allow you to get it back. For the amount, I forget what the law specifies, but they have to allow you to make payments. They can't hold it hostage for the whole amount.
No, they want the full amount.
Of how much?
Remind you, this is Wyatt.
I understand it's Wyatt's, and I know Wyatt's got into trouble with the state. Did you call the Public Utilities Commission?
Yes, we filed a complaint.
And what did they say?
I haven't heard a response yet.
Okay. Here's the deal. They need to let you finance it. Do you have a contact at Wyatt's you've been talking to?
I can't remember what the lady's name is, but I'm just really, I'm older and I'm
Connie,
really frustrated.
I know you're
trying to help
upset.
my grandson.
I know you're upset, but something you're not going to want to hear. I don't think they towed it illegally. I don't think they did. You seem to think that because your son owned this truck or this SUV, Suzuki or whatever, that they're supposed to know that and not tow it because he lives there. But he did not comply with them. There are signs all over that says you need a permit. He did not have a permit. Your excuse is the office was closed. Well, if I buy a car and I don't have a driver's license, I can't say, well, DMV was closed. You just can't. I promise you that is not an excuse. Okay? He should have waited until the office was open, registered the vehicle, and then he could have parked there. Or he should have never just parked and gone across the street. I'll bet you someone there, either a management or someone from Wyatt's, was watching to see that. That's what they do on these private lots. They look to see for people that park and walk away. He didn't even go into the apartment complex. He went, and did he park in visitor parking? And if he did and
no,
went
he
in...
parked in his parking.
Okay. Again, you understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it again. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We need to call Wyatt's. We need to call them and see why they are not allowing her to finance it. So let's see if Deputy Chopper can call them. Let's just call them. And here's what we ask, okay? Why are you not following the tow bill? You look it up, Chopper. I think they have to take only a certain amount of money, and then they have to allow her to take the car and make payments. Now, you still have to pay, but they can't hold it for the full amount. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
Very nice.
Hey, it's Rick Lewis here. In a wreck, need a check? The attorney you call does make a difference. And I
yeah, at least not very well.
No, I'm not going to do
thousands
it.
of five-star.
I'm going to fill if you want, but I'm
covered
not doing
billions for their clients.
All right.
He has
The
stopped paying
consultation is
everybody.
free, and the advice
Well, I wouldn't do it either.
Okay.
doesn't charge.
You see how little work I do for you after you stop paying me.
Do you want to
Need a
give me
check,
another
make
30 or
one
me
call, that's
Bill?
all.
No, go nuts. Mention a friend.
Murder and rope, those guys are great. Call 303-333-8888.
Renew Home Innovations will give you beautiful bathrooms, absolutely stunning designs, and they will convert that old, ugly tub into a beautiful shower. Now, they can do that in 2 days, maybe 3, and you have 72 months to pay with no interest. We're talking about stone resin walls that require absolutely no maintenance, glass panels, no shower doors needed, perimeter drains, no threshold to stumble over. It's great as you get older. You want to see this. 303-904-2000. 904-2000. RenewHomeInnovations.com.
Rock, thank you.
And looking up the Tom Martino Troubleshooter show that way. And then those are listed by date.
Let me just double check with you. No Mark today?
He'll be back.
All right, thank you. Hey, on that Empower, thank you for telling me that is the problem, because here's what I'm going to do. Or should I have not even said that word?
Go ahead.
Hitting eject in the log so it shows that it didn't run.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah.
A very specific thing. As opposed to, like, if you do plumbing, if you have plumbing there and you don't do a plumbing, I let the other plumbing run because we make it good later, la la la.
Wait, are we skipping a spot?
Yeah, Empower. They're not paying, they quit paying. So not doing it. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. If you need to turn me off of YouTube or something, I'm sorry. Trying to talk to old Kelly here. Tom, you have Chopper at your house?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. It almost sounded like you were talking to him.
No, I'm talking to someone else.
This morning.
So I was going to say, try not to cross that line right away, letting Chopper into the house.
Okay, I've been texting back and forth. Okay.
You know, it's been like a year and a half since Doc tripped over your bar stool.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to change too much stuff, Tom, but you are a little low today.
Oh. Okay, you know, I think a lot has to do with the internet, how things change. So I'm going to boost this, and you tell me how it sounds. Ready?
Yeah, just give me a hair. I can't tell compared to...
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
That should be... I mean, I just needed a hair.
Okay, well, I want to hear, so let me know if that did it.
Yeah.
If not, I can
You
try
got it,
something.
man. Thank you. Yeah, and I don't ever attribute it to cause of any kind. So it's not like what happened that made you lower.
Yeah,
Let me
I
just
know.
turn you up. That's all. Try to be kind of black and white about some of the sort of stuff. Yeehaw.
Hey, Mark Massey is coming.
I'm purposely not feeding Mark audio, by the way. I'm sending him KOA. Kelly.
Don't do that.
Well, he didn't check in with me, so he can listen to Ross for a while.
I don't think he's on.
I know that. I know, but when he does call, I want him very confused. Because that brings me joy. It's probably some sort of extra yoga thing. He's almost able to fold in half. Okie dokie, here you go. Ooh, we're right on time.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I want to continue. Brenna, is it Brenna? Or Brianna? I'm sorry, Brianna. I misread that. Brianna, what's going on? Hi.
Hi.
What's happening?
Yes, I have actually just become a new homeowner in Colorado Springs. Moved from Denver
Now,
with my
was
family.
it a new home or a pre-existing home?
A pre-existing home, new to us, but
Okay.
definitely has been.
And what's going on?
And yeah, we had our realtor help us to purchase the home, and I guess it seemed as though he had worked with the seller before because the seller is an investor and, flips houses and things like that.
Wait a
And
minute.
he thought-
Who listed this home? The guy that sold it to you didn't list it, did he?
No, the realtor didn't sell it. Well, the realtor sold it to us, but we had found it on Zillow.
Okay,
way
I got
back.
it. But he knew the seller. There's nothing wrong with him knowing the seller.
Nothing.
However,
Yeah.
he has a fiduciary responsibility as your agent to act on your behalf for your best interests. So what happened?
Oh, yeah. So we had started the process back in October of last year of getting the house. We saw it during the Memorial, or I think it's one of the Memorial Day, like the hot air balloon flights in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Where they send off all the hot air balloons. Yeah, we were walking by and we were like, is that the house we saw? It's not on Zillow anymore. What's going on? So we, stopped by after the parade kind of, and we called the realtor. He's like, oh, yeah, no problem. You guys can go ahead and look inside.
When you called the realtor, hold on. Was it off the sign?
Yes. Off the sign in front of the house, yes.
Okay, well, that's going to complicate things because, okay, keep going.
So we spoke to him. He's like, yeah, let's go ahead and, look into things, financially, see if you guys can, purchase the house. We're like, great, this is amazing because being in Denver, we haven't been able to compete, with other
I just want you to know
buyers.
something, Brianna. I don't know what's going on with this problem, but I just want to give you a preview. The fact that you called the listing agent first and the listing agent engaged with you takes it off the table for a buyer's agent. Okay, I just want you to know that. So you complicated things. So when did you bring in a buyer's agent?
We didn't. We, went with
You just told me
Mm-hmm.
that the guy you had as your buyer's agent knew the guy who was selling the house.
Yes.
Well, you didn't tell me he represented the guy selling the house.
Yes, he does.
So he
represent
was
the guy
not, hold on, he was not your buyer's agent.
Nope.
Did he
No,
make that clear to you?
I think he made it clear to us that he would be representing both of us.
Well,
and that he would
okay,
be
hold on.
the-
If he wanted to represent both of you, that's called a transaction broker. Your contract must clearly specify whether he is a seller's agent, a buyer's agent, or a transaction agent. This is sounding very complicated. You assumed he was your agent. He was not your agent. What happened then?
Then we had the inspection done for the sewer of our house. We had, what is the name of the company? I think it's
Doesn't matter. Keep
Drain-
going. You had inspections
whatever.
done. What else?
We had it inspected, and we had it come back with the report that there was an impassable blockage. I, being the first-time home buyer, I'm 23 years old. I had no idea what this meant.
Okay.
My husband was, completely, out of it with trying to figure out, how we were going to get all these open houses so we could sell our current condo. So he wasn't, thinking too much into it. He had also, previously bought properties with his family.
Okay, so keep going. So you had a blockage. And by the way, here's another thing. I would never allow sellers to fix anything. I would demand that I have allowances to fix them based on pre-existing estimates that I've gotten. But I assume they said they would take care of the blockage.
No, because we, figured that, it's just something we can fix when we get there.
Oh,
It's not
so
a big
you knew
issue.
about the blockage, and you did not demand that the seller fix it. You bought it with a blockage.
We bought it with a blockage.
Okay,
yes.
so keep going. Keep going.
That is the start of where we're, coming into the house.
Well,
this
I'm
year.
telling you, man, you did this with knowledge. So you went into the house. Did you later find out? Or you could just tell me a yes or no so we can get to the point and try to help you. Is this the point of contention, the blockage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is the exact issue that we're facing.
That's why you're calling. You bought the house with a blockage and found out it was not easily cleared. You probably have to replace your line.
Yes, we do have to replace the line.
And how much is it going to cost you?
Right now, about, I think we were saying 8,000 to 9,000.
Okay, you just bought yourself a house and paid 8,000 to 9,000 more. There is, Brianna, I am telling you, there is nothing you can do if what you're telling me is how it went down. If you had an inspection done and accepted it, you accepted it.
We did accept it.
Now, it would be different. Hold on. Let's say the seller's agent, who you were dealing with, lied to you about the blockage and said to you, or the seller lied to you and said, you know what, Brianna, this is a minor blockage. It can probably be cleared for a few $100s. Now, I don't know if you have any lies. Lies would count. Did they lie to you?
Right. I feel as though the realtor
not
did
asking
lie
how you feel.
because-
I am asking
Let me tell you though,
if they
let me tell
lied
how
to you.
He told me once I told him about this, being a bigger issue than we thought it would be. He said, I asked you when we did the inspection because at the time we were in Denver. It was the middle of the week. I
Brianna?
had 2 young kids at home. Couldn't get up here for the
Brianna,
inspection.
that's after the sale. Here's what I'm asking you.
So,
I'm asking you this. At the time of the inspection, at the time of the blockage, at any time prior to the closing, did they lie to you about the blockage? Either not being there, being very minor, or not being a big problem?
the seller did not comment whatsoever on the plumbing status of the house in the seller's disclosure.
That's a red flag right there.
Okay.
But that's not illegal.
Yeah.
That's not illegal.
That's not illegal to know and not do anything about it? To
Hold
willingly
on. Hold
sell
on. Wait. It's not illegal to know and not lie about it. It's illegal. On that disclosure sheet, there's a yes, a no, or I'm not aware. What did he check when it came to plumbing?
Nothing. He left it blank.
Okay.
No comment.
Then that was your problem for accepting it.
Yeah, whoever your realtor was a dumbass.
Well, she didn't have a realtor, Mark. She had.
Well, then I guess that makes her that.
That's right. She had a seller's agent. These people were basically marks. They came in and basically were played. But listen, they probably got around it. But I want to know something. If you said to them, I just want to know what this seller's agent said. If you said after the sale, wait a minute, this is going to cost us $9 or $10 grand to fix, and did you and your seller did not disclose anything about the plumbing? What did the guy say about that, or the woman? Is it a man or woman?
It's a man.
What did he say about it? What did he say about it?
Yeah, he said essentially that we didn't ask any questions. We didn't ask him to pursue the inspection findings any further.
And I think he's telling you the truth. I mean, you could have gotten an estimate on what it would cost to fix. Brianna, I think, listen, here's what I think. This does not make me happy. I want to help you. You're 23 years old. But the point is this. I don't think anyone did anything wrong except you and your husband. I'm just trying to be straight with you. I don't want you to waste a lot of time and energy.
Right.
You know, nothing illegal that I hear, but definitely immoral.
Yeah.
I mean, they screwed her.
Yeah, I mean, if this plumber, if this seller did not, if this
as his client to tell
Brianna.
us the truth and to know.
You know what would be
Brianna,
interesting?
hold on. You're assuming the seller knew about it. Prove it. Prove it.
That's what I was going to say. Why don't you talk to the neighbors? Why don't you start doing some legwork and figure out if he mentioned anything to his neighbors about
But
it?
even if, okay, let's say the neighbor saw a sewer crew out there. That would be evidence that he knew something was up. But here's my question. And I think we need to get Frank Duran, the real estate man, on to and only if he can actually say, if you leave it blank, is there a problem with that? I guess there would be if she objected to it. The point is this: disclosure statements are not required. So I don't think you're even required. If they said nothing, I think that was your clue. Hold on, though, and we will get an expert opinion. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
Yay.
This hour.
Well, Mark was a little late, but he came in strong. Yeah, boy.
Your trusted.
What's going on?
Oh, hang on, guys. Knock these out first, if you don't mind, Tom.
Okay.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Some busy spots throughout the Denver metro as we hit that 10 a.m. hour. I-25 southbound showing speeds in the 40s and 50s between I-70 and Spear. West of there, I-70 westbound, daily roadwork continues in the left lane between Sheridan Boulevard and Harlan Street with slow driving back from Pecos. Just north of there through the Berkeley area, I-76 westbound at Sheridan roadwork in the right lane this time. Stop and go back from I-25. We're seeing a 7-minute delay. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies, high 50 today, cooling down after yesterday. Overnight low of 25. Tomorrow, cooling down again, high 44 with rain and snow. That snow continues into Saturday. The current temperature in Denver is 44 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll have the story of Brett Favre's miraculous game the night after his father died. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
If you're looking for safe, conservative investments that have a guaranteed return, a guarantee in it not to lose any money, and then once you've gained more money, not to lose that either, and an income for life, that's Joe Cano and his team of financial advisors. You can call them at 303-779-6600. That's 303-779-6600. A lot of people are looking for something other than the stock market, and this is one option. You can look them up at mymoneymyway.com. The Art of Granite. Oh, my goodness. Mitch Floria says, you know what? We have special deals for Martino listeners. Not only are we doing great countertops at great prices, we will give special discounts for Martino's listeners if they mention the show. And here's the other thing. You already get a free sink in the bathroom if you have a free vanity in the bathroom if you have the kitchen done, or a free kitchen sink. Now, here's the deal. They're so proud of their deals, they will quote you on the phone. No one else does that. And they do any countertop material, man-made or natural stone. 303-386-5919. Call right now for your price. 303-386-5919. If you're looking on the outside of your house, take a look. Mentally take a look.
Oh, hang on one sec. Hang on.
You got that roof. You got the siding. You got stucco, maybe. Whatever you have. Windows and doors. They can take care of it all at GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Now, they take care of it as storm damage, or you can just upgrade and do home improvements. Whatever it is, they'll do it, and they've been around
Barry,
for
I
years.
screwed something up.
GenesisTotalExteriors.com. 303-679-8509. Are you guys aware you were talking in my ear the whole time?
You got it, brother. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey,
Tom.
Were you aware you were talking in my ear the entire break, right?
Well, not the entire break. I screwed up Genesis. Would you like to do it again?
What do you mean you screwed it up?
I turned you off.
Fuck! Come on, man. Are you serious?
Yeah, the phone was ringing.
Well, it was nice that. Okay, so you let me do the whole thing and then tell me I got to do it again. Okay, fine.
I tried to say stop a couple times. It was Barry Miller on the phone. You know what that deal's like. I couldn't. It was a mess all the way around.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
20 away. 20 away.
Troy will buy your house for all cash, and he can close in 7 days. So call Troy Hansford. Get more money at 720-900-4433. 720-900-4433.
Troy Hansford, RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
If it's on the outside of your house, Genesis Total Exteriors will handle it. And I mean anything. Outbuildings, decks, railings, and then, of course, the siding, the windows, the doors, the eaves, the soffits and fascia, the gutters, the roof. So if anything's been damaged in a storm, you can call them and get everything on one invoice, deal with one person, Mark Szymanski, the people we know and trust at Genesis. But here's the other thing. If you just want home improvements, they can do that too. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509.
No.
Awesome. Sorry about that, Tom. I don't do that to you very often, but I am sorry when I do it.
Oh, thanks for being sorry.
I think he's lying.
I think he's lying too. Mark, where tell me about the case. I mean, are they still doing?
No, it's done, man. I would bet a lot of money he's staying on the ballot, and I think it's going to be a much broader ruling than just the Colorado case.
No, Mark. It would be automatically a bigger ruling because it would stand.
No. They could dial in right on this case and just say in this particular instance,
Mark. I will guarantee you that if they find him that the state can't do it, that it would be a precedent for every state. How could they possibly single out?
Because they can rule on how Colorado did the trial under procedural rules. They broke procedure, therefore the case doesn't stand, which would have no impact on anything but that.
If procedurally, I'm wondering how procedurally something like this.
Because they had some moron from probably DU get up there and try to interpret what Trump said.
An interpretation
with a magic ball.
Mark, an interpretation is not procedural. It's the law. That's why I'm asking. I agree with you. If they said that the court erred in this way, and all they have to do is then they have to refile it, basically. If they don't rule on the law, on the issue of law, then the procedure can be redone.
Yes.
And that would be tragic because how long would that take?
I have no idea.
It would be better if they rule on the law and then...
And like I was saying, I'm sure it'll be a much broader ruling. That's what I started the conversation off as.
Yeah, and then I said I didn't think it could not be because, I mean, like you said, procedurally...
Well, they brought it up a lot.
What's that?
An iHeartRadio station.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I've got to get to the phones, but Mark's been listening to oral arguments, and we talked about the two ways it can go. It can be universal for all states if they rule on the law. If they found the court did something wrong or the lawyers or something procedurally, they'd have to refile. It would be a mess, but we'll talk about that coming up, okay? Now, is this Idrea? Am I pronouncing that right, Idrea? I'll have to teach Kelly how to phonetically spell, but is it Idrea or Idrea?
Idrea is correct.
Idrea, what's going on?
Well, I was told to reach out to you by a friend who was having some legal issues in her past. That's kind of what I'm dealing with right now.
Listen to this here. I'm glad to listen. I hope we can help you, and I hope your friend didn't steer you wrong. What's going on?
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, I'm kind of like in the middle of like a surprise custody battle.
Surprise? How is it a surprise?
Well, it's not a surprise, but so I'm currently co-parenting with my 1-year-old father, and I'm expecting another child by him, and we weren't really getting along, and so our last day that I sent my daughter with him, he decided to keep her, and then he went up to the courthouse and then filed paperwork on me for custody, but he's refusing to let me see or have any contact with my daughter until our first official court date, which wouldn't be until the end of this month.
What did the courts rule? Did they do any emergency ruling at all?
They They haven't done anything yet because I have been kind of busy with work and then trying to figure out things in between, trying to go to work and go to the courthouse.
What was his claim when he filed? Did he make any claim?
I'm not sure, but from what he told me, he wants to try to do 50-50 custody with my daughter. But, he's doing kind of his legal version of kidnapping my daughter.
But wait a minute. I thought you had 50-50 or not. You didn't?
We didn't have a court order yet. So
we
were
okay.
Just kind of...
So he wanted to make it official.
Yeah, he wanted to make it official, and then he kind of just, I went, when it was my day to get my daughter, I went to send him a text message.
I get it.
And, yeah.
Now, here's the problem. Technically, with no order, and you both being biological parents, by the way, this is not legal advice. I'm just going by what experts have told me in the past, and we can get one on.
Yeah.
But normally, biological parents have equal rights. Okay, unless the courts took one away, or unless they allocated more parenting time to one than the other. So he didn't really technically do anything wrong.
Yeah, I know the technicalities behind that for sure.
So right now, what I think you should do, instead of fighting this temporary crap, is work on the 50-50, unless you think that would not be in the best interest of the child. That's what they care about. They don't care about you or him. So what do you think? Now, does he have an attorney?
He might. He told me that he has, he's been telling me one thing and, then another thing happens. So I'm not really sure. All I can do is kind of wait to be served the so-called papers that he filed. I filed my own, but I've been waiting for a court date to pop up, and nothing has come up. But the reason why I was kind of calling is because I kind of just was trying to see about getting some support for myself, because I feel like he's saying that he wants to make it fair, but he's I don't think.
Now, when you
say
support, what do you mean?
I mean, because I kind of don't have money for a lawyer at the moment, and
the
lawyer that
that's unfortunate. If you don't have, does this guy have an attorney? That I ask you that. Did you tell me? Does he have someone?
I'm pretty sure he does. From what he told me, he said he does.
Okay. I got to figure out. You see, let's call. We need to call one of our family law attorneys. Can you get Harris on, one of the people at Harris, and see if what people do when they are indigent or don't have the money for an attorney and they're being challenged?
Or get Bonnie Shields on.
Yeah, Bonnie Shields would be great too. Bonnie Shields Law. Hold on.
I think I spoke with someone from the Harris law firm too, but I don't think they were a little bit out of my price range too.
But did they say there was any free help available?
Well, there was one place that I forget what exactly the name of it. It was Colorado Legal Law or something. You
got to you basically get on a list. But Bonnie can tell you that. And all the attorneys in Colorado with family law, they get assigned stuff each year. But it is a list. You have to get on the list.
And hold on.
Now,
I'm so sorry. And part of it is that there is a decibel situation in here with Kelly. I love her, but man.
The 10 o'clock hour.
She is fired up.
5 southbound slow between I-70 and Spear Boulevard. No complaints, I-25 northbound through town. Up on the northwest end, road construction continues on I-76 westbound at Sheridan. Right lane blocked with stop and go back from I-270. For this time of day, we're only seeing a minute or two of delays. For folks heading to DIA, I-70 east and westbound showing intended speeds. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies, high 50 today. Overnight low of 25. Rain and snow tomorrow, high 44. That rain will be turning to snow overnight for snow on Saturday as well. The current temperature in Denver is 46 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
The Republican Party is headed in the wrong direction if people continue to listen to the problematic statements by Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. We'll have an honest talk with Pastor Daryl Scott and expose the craziness. It's the Tudor Dixon Podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
ZeroResDenver.com. You want to get 3 rooms done for $109 and a free hallway and 20% off all their other services? Then call ZeroRes. The people who use nothing to clean your carpet but great, energized, well, let's call it purified, softened water. The best cleaning agent in nature. I swear to you, it's the only place I'll have. It stays so clean because there's no dirt attracting residue. They dry faster, stay clean longer, and you don't feel that, I don't know how to explain it, that crustiness or whatever. It feels new. It feels clean, soft, supple. And they also do ductwork. They do area rugs. They do upholstery cleaning, mattresses, zero res. The people you want in your home, the only ones I have in mind, 303-471-5150. Truly worth the call. If you're going to have it done anyway, have it done by zero res. You'll never go back to any other way. That's 303-471-5150. Hey, we just heard about this woman who did this real estate transaction, and Frank Duran, the real estate man, would have never let his client get into a situation like that. You see, it's more than just negotiating price when you go to buy a place. It's protecting your interests. So if you're looking to buy, look to Frank Duran's buying team. Man, they are very thorough. They can find the deals. They can negotiate the deal. They can represent you through the transaction, one of the many services he has. 303-920-1622, frankdurantherealestateman.com.
Most insane thing ever.
We'll see what happens, which is the most important thing.
What's that? What is he talking about?
Well, to assume based on questions from the juror, whatever, it's just no one ever. I asked Brown this. I said, has anyone ever been able to exactly predict a justice's response based on their questions? It is a little silly.
I can say I am right now. He's going to be on the fucking ballot.
All right.
Hey, Mark, give me an idea of some of the things they're doing that makes you think that.
Well, every one of them, including Jackson, probably the most liberal on there, is like, you got to understand, they're referring to a certain part of the Constitution that talks about insurrection and what the state has a right to do. But basically, way back in 1800 or something, they changed it after not the Revolutionary War, what the fuck's it called? The Civil War. They changed it so people from the South that were what they wanted to call insurrectionists couldn't run for office unless like 2/3 of Congress would allow them to actually take their seat. So really the argument, one of the biggest arguments, is kind of rooted into that. So the bottom line is the whole reason that came up is the state did not have the right to talk about a federal election. They simply didn't have it. To look at this in the most basic ways, the state does not have a right to take a official off the ballot that is running for office of the U.S. In other words, if it was just a state like a senator or something, they possibly could have it, depending on what their own rules are. But when it comes to this particular case, someone running for president,
right,
they simply don't have the authority to do it. It doesn't even come down to was there an insurgency or not. It doesn't. Tom? Did he provoke it? None of it comes down to that. It's really just arguing the Constitution.
Tom, yes.
I have Frank Duran now. He was in a meeting, but the caller dropped off.
Oh,
and
it's okay. I still want
She's not answering the phone anymore. Do you want to still talk to him?
Yes, I do.
Okay, hang on.
Hey, Tom, you know I'm in the studio, right?
Thank you, Doc. Yes, I just saw that. Thank you.
So it's very interesting. I'm telling you, every justice. And Tom, what they kept coming back to is, okay, let's say they didn't say Mississippi or Biden, but let's say Mississippi decides Biden broke some rules, whatever rules they want to say. And there was no trial, there was nothing, but he broke rules. And now they're going to kick him off the battle. Or off the ballot.
It doesn't specifically talk not just about breaking rules. It doesn't talk about that. It talks about insurrection, right?
Yeah, but that's not even part of the arguments today. It has nothing to do with insurrection.
What?
It has nothing to do with it. It comes down to the state have the ability to kick off someone running for a federal office.
But the law that they're talking about, or the amendment or whatever it is, it's specifically about insurrection.
But it doesn't matter what it's about. The state doesn't have the right to decide that.
Okay, no, on any
Just
point.
like the abortion thing. It has nothing to do with abortion. It has to do with whether the states have the right to decide whether or not they do abortions or not.
Right.
The argument has nothing to do with, really, honest to God, jack shit, except the state doesn't have the right to pull off a federal nominee.
Got it. No, I got what you're saying. And
the other shit is all bullshit. It's just none of it matters.
Yeah, because if the state doesn't have the right to enforce that, even
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, the real estate man. I want to get you on real quick. Frank.
Hey, Tom. Good morning.
Real quick, I don't even know if we're going to have time. We're going to be out in 30 seconds, so I'm not going to bother. Frank, if we can call you back, it would really help us.
It's on disclosures, Frank.
It has to do with disclosures, Frank, and with a problem. I just want to go through that. Also, we have rpcenter.com. Listen, tonight at 6 o'clock, there's still some seats available. Please go to rpcenter.com and sign up for tonight. There is no cost. It's not a sales job. It will not be long and boring. It'll be very informational. I'll be there. Full transparency on everything I'm doing. You can ask any question you want of any of us. Stick around. More coming up.
So this guy, this Jason Murray, who was representing whatever, the Colorado voters, not me, but, the other ones. Man, he got his ass chewed. You hear the first guy, the guy for Trump, he's been in front of the Supremes like 6 times. I mean, he's like, remember David Lane?
Yes.
He's just remarkable. He's talking nothing but fact. He doesn't try to bullshit. He doesn't try to work around arguments. He just knows what's going on. I mean, he's there to make a legal argument. And this other guy, this Jason Murray, I mean, he was like a fish out of water, dude. He had no idea. Every justice called him out at one time like, hey, that's not the question I'm asking you. I mean, he was a fucking moron. Well, I can't say that. He's arguing in front of the Supreme Court. He's definitely not a moron, but he was so out of his league, it was crazy.
Hey, Mark, by the way, did you get the message I sent you?
What was it?
Just check it out.
Was it a text or what was it?
Yeah, it was a text message. I just wanted to ask you a question about you talking to one of our callers.
Okay.
Do you want?
Yeah, of course. Just give him my email, Ken.
Okay, what's your email?
MARC. Ah, shit. Why are you asking me now?
Mark
I'm not telling you fucking now. I'm going to text you.
Okay.
It's basically Mark dot blah 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 blah, but I'm sending it to you. What's your phone number, Doc?
303.
Stop, God.
What?
We're on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I'll text it to you.
No, I don't need. You just texted me. I have your phone number. I was just basically trying to get you to tell everybody.
Oh, I don't care. Okay, I'll send you an email.
Cool.
Hey,
Tom, what's
photos welcome?
My phone number is 303-444-1234.
Nice.
Wait a minute. That's a elderly care center in Brighton. What are you doing?
Mark, I have to take a break. I'll be right back. If I'm not, start.
All right.
5, 6,
Grunt hard. Hold it till you get there.
Bear down.
Bear it
What's
down,
the
baby.
Jenny number?
Use wet
5,
wipes.
6, 7,
8675309.
What are they called? Dude wipes?
Those are okay. I prefer a nice 200 grit.
Ugh.
Now, Mark, now you're sounding just like Marty, so excited about this hearing today, and we won't know a goddamn thing forever.
I would bet you whatever amount of money you want right now, he will be on Colorado's ballot.
That's fine, but it's not based on what you were hearing today.
Yes, it was.
No.
Yes, that's what the entire world arguments
do it all
are
the
for.
time. They get out there and they hammer these people because that's the job. getting to the bottom of the thing no matter what.
They were very pissed off this fucking guy was even there. You want to know how they were thinking? They were going, this is the biggest bunch of shit we've probably ever done. Colorado's a bunch of fucking morons.
Well, we'll see about that.
I like it.
Like I said, even the lefties were like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Well, let's hope Janet Jackson votes the right way, but I don't know. I think that their minds are made up on so much other stuff that they're not.
Not on this, man. They know the can of worms.
I trust them more than the average person, but still, the ones that are against us are so anti-American, it's unbelievable.
Okay, I'm going to say something, Shannon, and you might not. You can believe me or not. A lot of these justices, after they get comfortable and after they get used to the system, they become their own selves. We have seen it go both ways.
No, I completely agree with that. I really do.
I think Jackson might be more of a moderate in the future, not right now, but in the future, than we are thinking of her.
Well, and
I gain respect for her.
That's
today.
certainly true of Roberts because he is this close to putting on a skirt when it comes to defending the Constitution. You know?
Yeah.
He was a big part of the Amendment 2 battle in Colorado in the early 90s. Do you remember?
I just think.
No. Do you remember Amendment 2?
Which, for Colorado?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was the gay rights.
Yeah.
And a yes vote was against it, kind of, or whatever. It was great, and it passed. You know, the Coloradans did not want special rights for sexual orientation.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Can you let Suzanne know that I'm putting some tax stuff underneath her keyboard?
Okay.
Thank you.
Shannon, I'm telling you, every fucking justice beat the shit out of this guy. He was so out of his league. I mean, I might as well argue in front of the Supreme Court.
It'd be
That's
a hell
how
of a thing.
fucking stupid it was.
Hey, and I'll just put a bow on this real quick. So the case was ultimately called Romer versus Evans that overturned the vote of the people in 94. And Roberts was a huge part of helping Roy Romer overturn the vote of the people in Colorado.
That's kind of weird.
Kind of. I wonder. Oh, really? And then he got appointed by Bush, and I will never understand any of this. I mean, who's got pictures of who with an 8-year-old that leads to some of this crap?
Okay, I think that I'm back.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that what the nurse told you, Mr. Martino?
Yeah, they said I have a show going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big show.
In the green room.
Mm-hmm.
Right after the show, you're hopping on that space shuttle.
Yep.
So we're going to have to check your DD.
I would love to take wagers. You'd be a moron to bet that he's not going to be on the ballot.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not worth the blood pressure to get wrapped around the axle 4 months out.
I'm not. There's nothing with my blood pressure. I thought it was great. The only other time I've ever listened to oral arguments was not Roe.
Was you begging Suzanne?
No, fucking Gore.
You haven't begged anyone for oral? That's an oral argument.
Yes.
You know, Shannon,
I'm
why do you always go to the gutter?
Over Shannon's head.
Why do you always go to the gutter?
For oral.
You always go to the gutter.
Because that's where
it's where we all end up. Ashes to ashes, liquid to liquid, or whatever it is.
You are terrible.
Turns out.
And I want you to know, I do not go to the gutter.
Right. Leave it to me. Here we go.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Gary's with us. Let me go to the wide shot from rpcenter.com, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. Gary, tonight in Thornton, we have the summit going on. I want to know the main point you're trying to get across at the summit tonight.
Well,
6 o'clock. By the way, you can get a seat, rpcenter.com, no cost. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you bet. We'd love to have people register today. Just rpcenter.com.
Just get a little closer to that mic for me, please.
Yes, okay. So, we're going to do the Retirement Freedom Summit, and the main emphasis tonight is to not bore you to death with a bunch of stuff or try to sell you anything. Forget about it. That's not the intent.
We want to show you the main elements of a retirement plan and what you should do in each area.
Correct. And so we've got some of our strategic partners who will be there with us, and we're just anxious to share with you the 5-peak retirement process that we have trademarked and used in our practice, which will cover areas of income, investments, taxes, health.
We're going to mainly be taking questions. So
yes.
Anyways, that's rpcenter.com. We'll come back to you, Gary. Let me get to these calls here. And so, Teresa, what is this comment that you have on a client issue? Can I help you? I'm not sure what you're calling about. Go ahead, Teresa. Are you there, Teresa? Okay, I might not have her. So you tell me, guys, if we do or don't, because...
It's Brianna.
It's Brianna. Okay, Teresa's not there then. Okay, good. Brianna, hi. Let's talk to Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. We have an expert. He's an expert, and I just want to ask his opinion on this. Frank, here's what happened.
Okay.
Brianna and her husband are buying a house, right? And they did not have a buyer's agent. They called off the sign. So that's it. They had an inspection done, and it showed a sewer blockage. They assumed it's not going to be such a big deal. They want the house. They're going to buy it anyway. On the disclosure sheet, they said that the owner, the seller, left blank the plumbing area. Now, Brianna, I want to clarify that more. Did the disclosure have any other blanks that they did not fill in? They didn't fill in yes. They didn't fill in no. They didn't fill in do not know, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they didn't fill in anything.
On what part?
On pretty much the entire form, as far as
see, that's
all the,
now see, Brianna, hold on. That is okay. When you first brought this problem, you said when it came to the plumbing, they didn't fill it in. So you're saying they basically did not give you any disclosure whatsoever. Is that what you're telling me?
The only thing they put on the disclosure was that the appliances were new, like the fridge and the stove.
But
other
in
than that,
other areas of the disclosure, except for the appliances, in every other area, they did not check yes, they did not check no, and they did not check do not know.
Yes.
Okay. Now, see, Brianna, what that tells me is, okay, see, it looked a little more suspicious when you said they didn't fill in the plumbing part. What you're really saying is they basically filled in nothing. So, Frank, let's talk about that. Are they required to fill in yes, no, or do not know?
Tom, absolutely. If the seller elects to fill out a seller's property disclosure, that's any adverse material facts they must disclose to the buyer. And I do have a question, though. And Brianna, I'm sorry this happened to you, by the way. I'm sorry. Was the owner an investor owner that never lived there, or was this somebody that actually had lived in the property?
Nope, this was just an investor. I'm sure he probably never lived here at all.
Okay. Now, Frank, before you go on, I need to know something. A disclosure sheet is or is not required by law?
Is not required, actually, but here's what is required. The seller is still, whether they fill out a property disclosure or not, Tom, the seller is still required by law to disclose any adverse material facts.
Good. I didn't know that. So they can't just be mute on the subject.
Absolutely. They would have to disclose, and That's they're more of a good tool to use. It's approved by the real estate commission, so it's a tool we use in real estate. But technically, the seller does not have to fill one out.
But Frank, now I'm going to throw a wrinkle into this. She had her own inspection done, which showed the sewer had a blockage. So how much more would they have to disclose?
Well, let me ask you this too, because that's a great point. Was this just Brianna, your inspector, or did you actually have a plumber go out as well to give it a second opinion?
The inspection and the inspection of the regular house was done by one inspector, and then the plumbing inspection was done by a separate company.
And you had that done, is that right?
Yes, we paid for that ourselves.
And
yeah.
it said you had a sewer blockage, right?
It said that there was an impassable blockage.
Okay, impassable blockage. Now, Frank, I would say that there's no harm, no foul, even if they did know about it, there was no harm done to the buyer because the buyer knew about it.
Yeah, I think the key, Tom, is just having disclosure, and if the buyer was aware of it. And Brianna, I'm just curious.
Well, here's what I want to know, Frank. Here's what I want to know.
Sure.
If she knew about it by her own admission and her own inspector, what would the owner be obligated to disclose on top of that? Would he have to say to her, by the way, Brianna, this is going to require a whole new sewer line? I mean, he doesn't have to disclose anything more than she knew.
I think it's two different things, Tom, because there was a disclosure form. They didn't fill it out properly, but they signed at the bottom that they weren't lying, weren't hiding anything, which they were.
No, that part I get. But in order for, okay, we all know this. In order to have any kind of a lawsuit or legal action, there has to be a loss as a result of the breach. Where is the loss? She knew about the problem. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at. Can she argue, well, I didn't think it was serious, and the guy should have told me it was really serious? I mean, we're not talking about disclosure. We're talking about degrees of exposure. She wouldn't have even called if it was only $1,000. She's calling because it's $8,000 or $9,000. Frank, listen, you know how complicated real estate law is, and you know that disclosures come up all the time. How often do sellers really prevail on them when they know about them?
Well, Tom, in my experience with things like that, it would normally favor the buyer because the buyer, they have that obligation to disclose, Tom. So normally situations like this will favor the buyer.
Okay, then here's what I want to ask. The buyer goes to court and says the seller never disclosed the sewer problem. And as a defense, I say, Your Honor, you're right. But I didn't think it was that necessary after she had her own inspection. And guess what? They found an impassable blockage. So how much more damage did the buyer incur knowing there was an impassable blockage but chose to buy it anyway? I mean, really think about it. I mean, I hope we can help her. What do we go? We go to the seller and said, you should have told her about the blockage. And he says, well, she knew about the blockage. I mean, what are we going to ask for? What do we ask for?
Let's ask our real estate attorney. I think if you lie on the disclosure, the rest of it doesn't matter.
Okay. Any lawsuit comes down to damages. Any lawsuit comes down to damages.
Yeah, Tom, if he had prior knowledge, there's no question he needed to disclose that. And
I don't doubt that, Frank.
Definitely,
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, an adverse material fact.
I don't doubt that. So, if he disclosed there is an impassable blockage, he would have been in the clear. Is that right?
Well, yeah, because
if she did not turn it down, knowing there was an impassable blockage, what did him not telling her cost her?
Let's just ask the attorney.
I know, but I'm just, Mark, this is called a discussion. I don't
think you're connecting. Where we disagree is I don't think the second part matters. I understand what you're saying, but the fact that he lied on the disclosure, I think he's got to fix it.
Okay, good. Let's talk to our attorney because I don't know the answer, okay? I think there's going to be a question of loss. If She knew nothing about it. She could have said, I would not have purchased it. Therefore, by purchasing it, I incurred a $10,000 loss. But
if someone discloses, if I go buy a car, I mean, you're probably not going to like this analogy, and they don't disclose a cracked windshield, I definitely see the cracked windshield, and I buy the car not knowing that in the state of Colorado, they're not allowed to sell me that windshield because that's a safety item. They're still going to owe me a windshield even though I saw it.
Okay, first of all, it has to be in the field of vision, but let's talk about a cracked windshield. If they did not disclose a cracked windshield, the question in defense would be asked, did you know it was cracked? And if they say
yes,
no,
and I saw it
hold
was
on,
cracked.
Mark. And if they say no, I did not know it was cracked, then you would have a good argument. But if you said to them, yes, I knew it was cracked.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what loss there would be because you're accepting it. Let's talk to our
The loss would be in the state of Colorado, you can't sell a vehicle that has a safety problem. If it had no brakes and they sold it to me and they warned me of it,
Mark,
they still can't sell it.
So there was a cracked windshield. The buyer knew it. The buyer said, I don't care, I'm buying it anyway. Now the law comes in and says, you know, buyer, you can undo the deal. And he said, well, wait a minute. I knew it was cracked when I bought it. I don't want to undo the deal. That's what I'm getting at. What good will it do her? What good will it do her if she already knew and accepted it? Because you can assume, had the seller told her, it would have been the same result as the inspector telling her. I'm not saying the seller did not err. The seller did err. I believe Frank Duran. The seller was supposed to disclose it. My only question is, what did the buyer lose as a result of the seller not disclosing it? Okay, I mean, that's really the question. Or is it simply a matter of law, no matter what, that seller, because he didn't disclose it, now has to pay for it? That's what we need to ask Brad O'Brien. So if he can come on and talk about disclosures, man, it would educate all of us. I would love to know the answer. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
That was awesome.
For nearly 40 years now, kitchens, baths...
The mistake we make is thinking the law is black and white.
They certainly favor one side. Hey, listen, here you go. Simply Floors and Art of Granite.
Right. DRHI.com or 800-362-8370.
SimplyFloorsInc.com. That's INC for incorporated. SimplyFloorsInc.com is a place you go and make an appointment for experts to come to your house. And they do it all. They do the consulting to find the best stuff, the right stuff, whether it's luxury vinyl planking or carpeting or hardwoods or engineered floors. And then they have the people who measure and install, the best installers in the business, and they do it all. They even warranty everything along with the manufacturer. SimplyFloorsInc.com. Go for your floor covering, SimplyFloorsInc.com. If you're looking for a price right now on your countertops, whether it be granite, quartz, marble, whatever you want, stone or man-made material, the Art of Granite is proud of their deals. They tear out and haul away free. They do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen, or you can get a free kitchen sink. And they have other deals for Martino listeners. All you have to do is call right now. Get your price with no obligation, 303-386-5919. 386-5919, theartofgranite.com.
That was great. I don't know if Mark is still there. He might have run off. Well, as you guys well know, doing the show together for as long as you have, you can't take any stuff too personal, especially the disagreements. But that was really good.
Oh, I know it is. There was no disagreement. I'm telling you, I don't know.
Right. No, and I'm telling you
know, this is what's really fucking amazing. Whenever I say I don't know, people think they're assuming I'm taking a stand. When I say I don't know, and then I bring up both parts.
And Tom, let me get to the acting part of this. That is the sort of crap that you well know. Somebody who's driving home gets home listening, they can't get out of their car in the driveway because they're listening. You know what I mean?
Good.
That's the sort of stuff that is going to make a new fan right there. That was awesome. Oh, I love it. I hope Mark's still there. He's angry as a wet cat. Where the hell are you, Mark?
Nobody's angry.
I know, but he just gets.
You'd have to be fucking a moron to be angry.
I know. He just gets his fluffer tussled.
Over discussion. No, I don't think so. I think you're assuming that.
No. Oh, I know. Well, he'd storm off on a nice day.
Hey, Thomas.
Yes, sir.
So, I am on day 4
of
not taking your medication,
fasting.
There it is.
Are you feeling great?
No,
I got a fucking buzz, brother.
No. You know what? After when do you start feeling good? After 2 days, right?
Well, it's kind of weird because last night I woke up around 3 a.m. My fucking gut hurt. I had a bunch of that acid indigestion, which is crazy because I haven't eaten anything, but that's probably why. But besides that, I mean, I feel okay now. I'm not fucking hungry. But I am on less than 10 carbs a day since the new year. And then I started leveling out. You know, I dropped about 18 pounds and I couldn't seem to move anymore. So then I said, fuck it, I'm going to fast. And I started that Monday. I've dropped another 4.5 in those 4 days.
Wow.
And it's not water weight because I'm drinking water like a mofo.
Not AIDS?
I don't know if I'll be able to go till Friday. I've never done 5 days. I've done 3.5 a lot of times. I've never done 4, actually. And if I go in and see that fucking pizza tomorrow, I have a feeling that would just make me snap.
Well, I know you're going to be excited to see a pepperoni.
Fucking pepperoni.
He's such a...
Are they coming in tomorrow?
The hell day of the week is... Oh, I see. Well, no wonder you're the way you are. You're hangry.
Yeah, I'm up and down. I'm fucking... Like right now, I'm in a good mood, but I could be in a bad mood in an hour. It's really crazy.
No, I bet. And I don't mean to tease you about it, but yeah, I do. Because what are you going to do about it? You're so far away. Well, it's just that you're so hungry, you're biting our heads off. Daha. And not to keep it in the gutter, but when you're fasting, is everything off the diet?
Yeah, actually.
No!
Lots of calories.
Mark, do you know that a 30-second spot in the Super Bowl is
$7 million.
7 fucking million.
Well, and that does
Think of
not
how many
include,
people you reach, though, man.
I know, but that is just the money to Fox, right? Because how much is it to produce some of these?
Right.
Well, hold on. Here's the other thing, though. I have a feeling that might be the starting point because I much rather have one that very first break, no matter what, compared to having one in the middle of halftime, right?
Right.
Well, I don't know. It depends on who halftime is. No. Halftime could be wonderful.
Well, it's possible, and a lot of times halftime is the title
halftime,
sponsor.
Everybody's watching that first break, though, that first play.
Hey, here we go.
Station 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We were just talking about a 30-second spot on the Super Bowl. $7 million. $7 million. Wow. I mean, that's for a 30-second. That's just for the airtime, not to mention the production. And that's one of the few shows, by the way, where the commercials have become as much a part of it as anything, so people are waiting to see the commercials. They're literally wanting to see them. It's not an interruption.
Hell, they have TV shows on the commercials.
Yeah, it's one of the few shows where the commercials have become so integrated into the creativity that people love watching them.
Hey,
You're not a big
YouTube
sports
now
guy.
and
Do you
see
watch
them?
the Super Bowl, Tom?
First of all, I watch the Super Bowl when there are teams I care about. I normally don't watch it, and no, I mean,
okay.
I do it for the social thing usually
I
if
love
friends
it.
are around, but no, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care one way or the other, right? For this one, do you?
Oh, I love watching the Super Bowl.
I know,
It's
but what do
fun.
you care about this time? What do you care about?
I don't know who I'm betting on yet, so the answer would be whoever I
And
bet on.
you know that a box cost $1 million.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So I should confess this. I don't watch such things that don't have inclusivity.
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
There's no inclusivity.
You watched the Grammys the other night. Talk about inclusivity.
Oh man, you want to talk about the most exclusive club in the world?
Yep. Oscars and Grammys.
People going to the Super Bowl, I think. The Super Bowl. No. I think the Super Bowl is way more exclusive. Don't you?
I'd say the most exclusive membership.
Oh, you're talking about like audience-wise. I guess that you're right. The Grammys and the Oscars are smaller.
No. I thought of one that's even more exclusive. None of us peons can touch it, and that would be the Senate and the House. They got the insider's deal.
Yeah, what about the NFL owners, Mark? There's only 32 of them, and there are 50 senators.
Yeah, that's true. But
hey, how are
those
we
senators
doing,
can buy any stock they want at any time.
How are we doing on getting Brad O'Brien on?
Kelly?
He is not answering right now. I'm working on it.
Okay.
Hey, Tom, by the way, you can go on YouTube and see the commercials before the Super Bowl.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have sites where you can just see some of them before they air.
I always think it's a great time, man. Usually if Miles was in town, which he won't be this year, I mean, we'll always have a party, do barbecue and just the whole thing. It's always been kind of like a 4th of July in our family.
No, I know. A lot of people have a lot of fun doing that, for sure. So, yeah. Anyway, what I'd like to talk about, though, these oral arguments coming up. Mark, do you think there will be a decision today?
No, I don't think there'll be a decision today, but it's going to be a broad decision. The justices really hammered this guy from Colorado, even the kind of the lefties, if you want. I've got a brand new respect for Jackson, and it's not just because I'm kind of on the side of, getting him back on the ballot and all of that. But, I mean, honestly, I honestly got to say this. I looked at her as a pawn of the current administration, and I never gave her a chance. But actually listening to her, arguing both ways during this, she's a very, very bright young lady. And I'm thinking over time she might actually be more of a moderate than what the Democrats who basically voted her in are hoping. I don't know if that's true or not. I was very impressed.
What I think other than, and I don't want to mention it, other than one justice, I truly believe they take their job seriously, and none of them are pawns. I really believe they try to apply what they see and hear to the Constitution, except for one in history, I feel, who only, I believe, she did everything personally and politically, everything.
Well, it really comes down to this when I look at that court. It comes down to two different philosophies. Do you believe that the Constitution was written and that is what it is? If it said 2 + 2 is 5, well, damn it, it's 5. Or do you believe that it changes over time depending on the situation? So it's kind of interesting to look at interpreting the Constitution in two different ways. And I'm not saying either is bad. I personally think it should be looked at exactly how it was written. What do you think,
Mark,
Tom?
what's really funny is truly it can be looked at either way. Is it individual, or is it literal, or is it interpretive over time? Is it malleable? Is it a living, breathing document? People also look at the Bible the same way. That this is what it says no matter what, or does it change with times? And I don't mean change like the Constitution won't change that much, neither will the Bible, as far as really real principles. But what is a real principle? You see, that's where the interpretation comes in. With the Constitution, it usually always comes down to what does the federal government have the right to more so than states, and what do states have the rights to more though?
And really, that's what this came down to. A lot of people listening probably think this has to do with Trump.
O'Brien.
Has nothing to do with Trump. Very much like how the abortion, Roe versus Wade, had really nothing to do with abortion.
I need to talk to Brad O'Brien.
Rights.
We found Brad O'Brien, a real estate attorney. Brad, I'm going to lay this out to you, okay? And we really want you to weigh in on this. In this particular real estate deal, Brianna and her husband bought a house. They did not have a buyer's broker. They called on the sign. Then they had an inspection done. Their own inspection showed what was called an impassable blockage in the sewer line. They thought to themselves, we really want this house. We can probably get it fixed. It probably won't be that much. And they bought it. They later found out what they thought was going to be a relatively minor problem. It's going to cost about $9 or $10 grand to fix. Well, rightfully, they're upset. And then they're looking at their real estate documents. And in the disclosure statement that the seller decided to do and signed it, the only thing on the entire disclosure document is something about new appliances, that they're all new. The other parts of the disclosure were not filled out at all. There was no yes, there was no no, there was no do not know. Now, what do you think? She is saying the law requires, well, she didn't say this. Frank Duran, our real estate man, great man, he says the law requires sellers to disclose any material facts or defects. And what do you think?
Well, it seems to me that the buyers were on notice of this issue before they closed and knowingly accepted the risk. They knew of the problem. They didn't know the extent of the problem. Let me give you an example. If there's a roof leak and you don't find the roof leak itself, but you see some water dripping on the ceiling, you're on notice of the roof leak because of the manifestation of that water coming down. So they knew there was some issue with the sewer. They should have really investigated it further before closing. And so I think that they probably could be held accountable for.
But what about the black and white issue? What about the wrong or right issue of a seller never disclosing any of the defects? There could be others in the house. They simply did not fill out the disclosure form, which, by the way, Brianna knew when she bought the house. My argument was the same as yours. I'm not trying to convince anybody. That's why I stayed shut up until you said that. I would say even if she wanted to sue for the sewer damage, the defense to the seller would be, well, you knew it anyway. I mean, so even though I may have breached my responsibility, I did not actually cost you that money. I mean, is that what a defense would be?
Well, Tom, you didn't tell me that the sellers actually knew of this problem. The seller is not obliged to disclose a defect that they don't know about.
Okay, I don't know if the seller knew about it either. That's the point. I don't know. That's a very good point, Brad. So let's take either one. Let's say the seller did know about it, okay, but did not disclose anything about it, but the buyer already knew about it.
But let me throw in one more part there. So, Brad, even though they didn't check yes, no, maybe, or whatever it is, they did sign that normal disclosure form at the bottom saying they answered honestly.
Yeah. The difficulty in these kind of cases where a seller doesn't disclose, there's a claim that a seller doesn't disclose a defect, is that the buyer has to prove that the seller had actual knowledge of that defect.
But like Tom was saying, let's say
for
that has been
argument's
proven.
sake, let's say for argument's sake that this is the tricky part. Let's say for argument's sake the seller did know about it. Okay, is there now, as a result of that breach of responsibility, is there a damage even though the buyer knew about it too?
Well, then you have a toss-up, and the only person who can decide who's right on that is a judge, because you have a seller with actual knowledge, and you have a buyer with actual knowledge of the defect. So who's more liable than the other?
Who wants to? Does somebody want to?
The caller, go ahead.
Nope.
Hello? Somebody wanted to chime in, now they don't? What?
Yes. No. Can you hear me?
Are you Brianna's husband?
Yes, I'm Brianna's husband.
Go ahead, sir.
So we purchased this house. I was aware of little things that, looked not too correct, right? So like an outlet's maybe wired on, or the gutter kind of leaks a little bit. But I was not under the assumption that the sewer doesn't work. And because the sewer is collapsed, We don't have
Well,
water.
wait a minute. You just said you were not aware the sewer didn't work. What does impassable blockage mean to you?
To me, because this house was in 1937, I thought it was maybe some tree roots.
Okay, but hold on.
So I figured he couldn't get his scope camera down there past the roots, and that the sewer would still work.
Okay, but don't say you weren't aware that the sewer wasn't working. You were painfully aware of it. Here's the problem.
No, I was not.
Here's the problem. You
He's
and
saying
Brianna,
he wasn't aware, though.
What's that, Mark?
No,
He's literally
Why would
telling
I
us
buy
he
a house
wasn't
with a
aware.
sewer that's not working.
This guy, listen.
Why would I buy a house that doesn't have a sewer that works? Why would I buy
Well, you
a house
did.
that
What
doesn't
does
have
impassable blockage mean to you?
I thought maybe some paper towels.
Okay, so you did not think it was serious. Hold on. Hold on. I want to play court here. You did not think it was serious, right?
No.
Okay, and you had an actual, hold on, and you had an actual inspection. So you're expecting a seller who is an investor who did not have an inspection, you're expecting him to know. You didn't know having an inspection staring you in the face, but you want the seller to know.
If you turn on the water at all for even about a couple seconds, the downstairs starts overflowing.
Okay,
So
did
I
you,
don't
well, hold on,
believe
did
that
you
the
do
seller-
that? Did you do that?
Yeah, when we turned the water on.
And why did you buy
water
it then?
started flowing. Well, we didn't turn the water on while we were walking through the house. We were just looking at things.
Your inspector
And
did.
so-
The inspector noted an impassable blockage. I'm sorry. Look,
So-
I'm
no,
on
no,
your side, guys. You may not
there's
believe that, but I don't think that you guys can argue you knew nothing about it. I think that's an impossible argument for you. And the other thing is the seller. What we have to concentrate on now is, did the seller know? And then, Brad, I want to ask you again. If they found that the guy was there earlier trying to open this sewer, or when he bought it, he had the same inspection that said it was impassable, would he have an obligation to tell someone who already knew about it and was going to buy it anyway? And if he didn't, what did he cost them?
Yeah, seller would have a duty to disclose that defect that he actually knew about before closing. But at the same time, the buyers had actual knowledge of this defect.
So here's what I think. I think if you went to court, Brianna and husband, if you went to court and proved the other guy knew about it, then I think you could prove the seller did you wrong, but I don't think you can prove he cost you damages. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. There is always a right or wrong, but there's also damages. And if damages don't result as a consequence of the wrong, then why go after the wrong?
But Brad, what do you think in that scenario?
Well, like I said, it's a toss-up. It's a mixed case because both sides have good arguments.
Good. That's
I
true.
can't predict how that would come out in court.
I wonder if there's a
risk-
precedent on this, Brad. I wonder.
Probably. There's probably case law on issues like this, but I just can't tell you
Maybe
what
what
the
you guys ought to do is consult Brad O'Brien to see if there's case law on this and see.
Well, but here's the problem that we run into a lot. They're a new couple. She said she was 23. It's her first house. They just put the down payment on it. They've got an $8,000 fix right now just to be able to use the toilet or hire an attorney. I mean, is it worth going to court over $8,000?
It's actually $15,000 now because they have to get an excavator to replace the
Well, I
sewer
ask
line.
you the
And
same
by the
question.
way, on a separate note, we are running way behind. But I got to tell you this, Brianna. I hate saying Brianna's husband. What's your name, sir?
My name's Grant.
Grant, listen, Grant and Brianna, make sure, please, that you're getting an honest estimate on that sewer. That's a separate issue, please, because you could be victimized by sewer people too. Who did you get your bid from?
We got Priority Plumbing.
I don't know who they are, but I would get a second opinion, okay? I would absolutely, positively get a second opinion. I'm not telling you they're bad people. So hear me. I'm telling you I don't know them. 303-713-8255.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Some good news out west into the high country. I-70 westbound has been reopened at Vale Pass Summit. A blocking crash did have the road closed. Looks like the accident has been cleared. We're still seeing slow traffic back from Copper Mountain, about a 5-minute delay through the mountains. Into the Denver Metro, I-76 westbound at Sheridan. Roadwork continues in the right lane with stop and go back from I-270. We're seeing a 2-minute delay. No complaints I-25 north and southbound through the metro area. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies, high 50 degrees, overnight low of 25. Those clouds bringing rain Friday, turning to snow through to Saturday. The current temperature in Denver is 46 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Did you know Discover wants everyone to feel special? That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 customer service, as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Lazy Days RV. Those are the RV authority people, man. Those are the people with all kinds of selection. Like if you want new or used RVs, LazyDays.com. And we have our friends now that are part of Lazy Days. They were Century RV. They're now Lazy Days of Denver at Longmont, exit 240 and I-25. And you know what I like about them? They have a great maintenance facility up there for everyone. So whether you want maintenance or you want to trade in, sell your used, or buy new, buy used, you can get it all at LazyDays.com. Genesis Total Exteriors, the people that I call for the outside of my house. You should too. Now, when I talk about the outside of your house, I'm not talking about just storm damage, although they can do all storm damage. They can do storm damage repair on one invoice. So you got the roof, the gutters, the fascia, the soffits, the siding, even stucco, windows, doors, decks, painting. They can do it all. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Whether home improvements or storm damage, call the experts. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509.
Yay.
This is a good discussion.
But?
No, it is. It is a good discussion. Yeah. I'm asking a legal expert right now, what are my chances of prevailing in a lawsuit for real estate non-disclosure when...
I like his argument, though. He's like, look, I didn't know it was that bad.
Okay. Tom, I thought you were working on a lawsuit for elder abuse.
Good morning. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Good morning. Good morning, Gil.
Good morning, Tom Martino Show.
Good morning.
Told you she talks to everybody like they're a cute little dog. And when did you lose your mom? And when did you...
Okay, we're on a radio show, so we don't do off-air cases. We only do on-air cases. So if you
we only do
need
righteous
help
cases
from any of our experts and free advice. You would
Actually, I do marital advice. What else do I do? You know, if you have a bad kid, I can fucking tell you how to whip him into shape. If your board op's a pain in the ass, I can tell you how to correct his wills and don'ts. If you happen to work with the elderly and need help communicating with them, I'm very good at that.
And I'm publishing a Kama Sutra position a day calendar. Thank you.
That is true. I can put my ankles behind my head while standing. Hey, did the big guy leave? Did the boss man leave town?
What boss man?
The big boss was at the studio the last couple days.
I didn't know about that.
That's why I haven't been there at all, Jack.
What, when you say big boss?
I
don't know his title, but he's big boss.
Executive Vice President of Programming.
There you go.
For the entire iHeart?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Big man on campus.
And what was he there for?
Something about the Martino show.
What about it?
Well, if they wanted to study in excellence, okay, fine.
No, the EVP who was here.
I think he just got the job, and he's making the rounds to every studio in the country.
You know, I used to love when we got new program directors at KHOW or KOA in the years. They would all want to tell me how to do the show. It was wonderful. And then they stayed about a year and left, got fired.
I just like when somebody gets fired and I can go through their desk.
Right. But they all have something to say about me.
That son of a bitch.
Tom, if you just let the caller finish with their story first.
Yeah, right. Stop interrupting.
No, my favorite is settle, settle, settle. They're threatening to sue. Settle, settle, settle.
Oh my God. Oh,
settle.
my God.
Settle.
If I did
if
that,
you settled everything they told you to settle, you'd be fucking broke.
I never lost, Mark.
I know. Settle, settle, settle.
I've never, I can't even count. Well, I can count about 10 times to court. Never lost. Never, ever, ever.
Here's the problem. If you ever did fucking settle some bullshit, everybody and their mother would be coming after us. You got to take condos. You got to take their shit when they do that bullshit.
There's a reason. That's right. There's a reason. If people look up our court cases, they know my record. They know it.
Radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Don't forget rpcenter.com for tonight. We're going to be talking to him more. In fact, Diana has a question on an IRA account. Go ahead, Diana. What's your question on IRAs?
Well, I've owned this IRA since 2009, and I've never received any dividends since I've had it. And what I was told
when you
is
say
privately
dividends,
owned.
not all IRAs, dear, pay dividends. Do you mean returns in general, or what?
Yeah, maybe. I'm just learning all this. Yeah.
How much? Let's start. How long have you had the IRA?
Since 2009, and then another entity bought it up in
I get
2017.
it. How much was in it?
Well, it wasn't huge, but it's enough.
Give me an idea. How much is in it?
About 16 now.
Okay. Now, when you say, did you ever get a statement on it every month or every quarter?
Yes.
And on the statement, does it show earnings on that 16,000?
Yes.
So what do you mean when you say you did not receive dividends? That's the part I don't understand.
Well, I haven't received anything out of it. It's 2024 now. And,
but wait, the count is still there, right?
And yes, it is there.
When did you stop contributing to it?
Actually, it's grown, and I'm lucky that it has. But
But when did you stop, Diana? It's an IRA, which means the only money in there came from you. When did you stop contributing to it?
I think it was, when I first opened it, and it has grown, but...
But here's what I'm trying to figure out, Diana. Did you put in every year an amount, or did you only fund it once?
I think I just funded it once.
Okay. And how much, do you remember what your original contribution was?
Oh, God, no.
Well, because, Diana, here's why I'm saying this. It all comes down to money in and money there. If you put in 10 grand and it's now worth 16, then you do time value of money to see what your return has been. If you put in 16,
now,
ooh, that one was tight.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Some good news out west into the high country, I-70 westbound.
I want you to make sure Diana knows. We may have to carry her over, but we'll help her. Gary can help her.
More importantly, look at the log. You got some work ahead of you here.
I got it.
Into the Denver Metro, I-76 westbound at Sheridan. Road work continues in the right lane with stop and go back from I-270. We're seeing a 2-minute delay. No complaints I-25 north and southbound through the metro area. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies, high 50 degrees, overnight low of 25. Those clouds bringing rain Friday, turning to snow through to Saturday. The current temperature in Denver is 46 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Did you know Discover wants everyone to feel special? That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 customer service, as well as $0 fraud liability.
I love you.
Responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Hey, Sheridan Auto Tech is the place to call if you're looking for dependable auto service. That's SheridanAutotech.com. Kevin and his team will treat you like family. They do pre-buy inspections on used cars. I highly recommend it for that. They do electrical help. They do everything from new to used. And when I say new, your car may be under warranty. You can still get your regular service at Sheridan Auto Tech and save over what a dealer charges, and they keep all your maintenance records. They're on Colfax west of Wadsworth, 303-455-7242, 455-7242. Hey, One Clear Choice Garage Doors is the company you want for your garage doors. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. They do it all, from installation and repairs to service to the opener, and they do a great job. One Clear Choice Doors.com. What I really love about them is that all of their prices are fully disclosed on their website. That's 720-370-3987. That's 720-370-3987. One Clear Choice Doors.com. Denver Regenerative Medicine will do weight loss for you with the new semaglutide, and it will be compounded, $250 a month, as opposed to that expensive stuff on, you know about it, that for $1,200 to $1,400. DenverRegen.com, just $250 a month. 888heating.com is in the business of high efficiency replacement of heating and air. That means you'll get the best systems to save you money, not only going in, but when you get your bill every month, you will be so happy with 888heating.com. 303-770-2776. I love Water Pros because they have the best water ever. And you can too. Mark just had a system put in, whether it's softening or conditioning or you just want drinking water at the kitchen sink, you'll never do better than waterpros.net. Here's what they do. They do it all for the best prices. They will save you. You know what? Plumbers charge maybe 10, 20 times more than they do, but you don't get the quality. Waterpros.net, 303-862-5554. Free second opinions, by the way, on any water test you've ever had done or any water system people are proposing, and they will save you money. 862-5554.
Thank you. That was awesome, Tom. Thank you.
All right.
You're a magician.
Every day.
Mark is getting thinner.
Wasting
away.
Faster than a roller coaster.
He won't even have a lunch or dinner. Good morning, Troubleshooter Show. Did you want a piece of Tom and the gang? Hi. Did Tom Martino Show.
Make sure you let that woman know we will take her. Diana will help her.
We will take her.
Yeah?
All right, favorite Buddy Holly song. Come on, Tom.
Oh, shoot a poodle. Okay, well, I'm the doofus that runs the audio.
Come on, brother.
Shannon. Let me get you on
Don't
hold
be
and
Googling anything.
light a fire
I'm not
under
Googling
somebody here.
anything. I
Don't
gotta
run
think.
off, okay? Hang on just a moment. You bet.
You can't even think of one, can
No,
you?
I can't right now.
Mine by far is either Oh Boy or Every Day.
Every Day is so
and
good.
I don't know about. I don't know. I'm not a
Every
big
Day.
Buddy
That
Holly
click
fan.
track in Every Day is tight.
Okay, favorite Michael Jackson song.
Oh man, there are so many. God.
Remember the Time. Oh, love that.
Mine's got to be either Billie Jean or Thriller.
I love Billie Jean. I love Thriller. I like I like so many of them.
PYT is actually fun too.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty Young Thing.
Tenderonis.
You know, he's one guy I wish I did see before he killed himself.
Oh, no
or whatever
kidding.
He did.
Yep.
Hey, I did get to see Toby Keith before he went.
Saw him a couple times. Ding dang it. Gosh, ding dang it.
I didn't even
that
know he
sucked.
was sick.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't either.
yeah.
Suzanne was like, yeah, he came out a year ago.
Yeah, he did something at the CMAs or something like that in
He looked like
September
shit.
and looked awful.
I saw that video yesterday.
Yeah,
I had to listen to Red, White, and Blue about 15 times yesterday.
because we'll put a foot in your ass.
Fuck yeah, man. I like the one where he's singing to the troops over there during the fucking Afghan shit.
American girl.
Are we going to have
Good
any
guy,
time
man.
at all, bro?
Yeah, seconds. Literally seconds.
All right.
Hey, did we tell you how great you did on that last break?
This is great.
I did.
Shannon said, holy shit, he's on time. We got 8 seconds coming back.
Yeah, and guess what? We're on time on this break as well, miraculously.
I love it.
It's funny. We are 8 minutes late to the break, but he is right on time with the spot length.
I love it.
You can't have everything. Steve Kelly used to say, we can't be good and on time.
That is true.
All right, stand by.
Station.
Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Listen, Diana, we have our expert from Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies who can answer about your IRA. Please do not hang up. We will get to you about it because the bottom line is we'll help. Did you disconnect? All right.
I'm here.
Okay, there. I'm sorry, Diana. So listen, here's the point. Do you have a statement in front of you?
Yes.
Okay, keep it in front of you. We're going to come right back to you. We'll talk about interpreting an IRA and what to do if you want to move it or change it or cash it or whatever. So hang on. I'm Tom Martino. We just don't have time right now. Renee will also get to you about your real estate transaction. Coming up.
That was weird.
The only carpet. I know it was weird. You didn't have the goddamn music. I didn't know what was going on. Blah 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 blah.
Shannon,
So
I got a technical question.
Okay.
When are you allowed just to let it go? In other words, if we're talking to the fucking president and it's a nuclear war, I assume you don't have to the top of the hour news. So when do you make that call and how?
You mean like just now? If there was something?
Well,
so
news
important
bulletins take precedent.
Yeah, and how many stations do you have on the network?
I don't know, 4.
Okay, so I'll let you talk to 4 of them later.
Yeah, I guess you guys, neither of you are understanding my question.
No, what are you
but
saying?
I'm going to say that's my fault, so I'll rephrase the
Yeah,
question.
please do.
If we don't want you to go to the news at 11:58:20 or whatever time it is, what kind of circumstance does it take to where you would not go to the news?
An emergency.
That's what I'm asking. What is an emergency?
It's something, it's just an emergency. We'd have to interpret that. Like if somebody was shot, if the governor was hurt, if there was a plane crash, anything like that.
Would you agree with that answer, Shannon?
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact,
I've had it happen, Mark.
Okay.
We went long on a police chase once, and Chris Olinger came in and said, "That was really great. By the way, you just cost us $50,000."
But by the way, we 9/11, we broke program. I mean, the whole thing was shit.
Oh, yeah, and it's happened a bunch of times. Yeah.
How about Balloon Boy?
We didn't break programming. No, we did not. We went to the top of the hour, and then they did more of that.
Okay.
I was at a remote, so I don't.
But
remember.
weather emergencies too.
Yeah.
But many times, what we do is we break for local news, and then they do it.
I was reading, Tom, you were the only one that thought the kid was in that balloon.
Not the only. Oh my God! The whole world thought he was in there.
No, I wasn't sure, but I thought he was.
Yeah.
I always wondered why they didn't just shoot him down.
Well, I don't think he went to any restricted space.
Hey, mouse ain't tongue. Just take it easy there.
I don't know, Mark. I mean, he didn't. There was no reason to shoot it down.
Besides, we thought there was.
It could have been a Chinese bomb or a Chinese. What do you call it?
Listen, I
snapping
went
pictures
to.
and
I'm
stuff.
gonna go
I went
get
to
more
King
coffee.
Buffet.
You're exhausting me.
I went to King Buffet yesterday. I got a Chinese bomb in me. Trust me.
Oh my God, King Buffet. I got to look that up. Is it a bucket scoop joint?
The day after.
King Buffet, the best buffet in town.
Why
Well,
not?
you didn't tell me it was the best in town.
Oh, so good.
Oh, it's got everything: Chinese, sushi, and Mongolian.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll stick to Hoo Hot on the Mongolian.
Hey, and guess what? It's a place to go to meet up with friends, family, or if you're having a celebration.
Or to buy a family.
We have over 200 items.
How you go?
Do you ever think
I can't. Who
when
is
you
the
eat Chinese?
Who was that big comedian whose great joke was the owner of the buffet came out? Oh, Panette. 4 hour. You go now. You just killed my wife.
You've been there for an hour at the
Love
buffet. Wow, fried shrimp, scallops, crawfish, blue crab, chicken, beef, shrimp, pork. God, listen to look at this guy living the big life. Fucking Shannon acting like he's broke, but he's eating like a king over at the best buffet in town.
This is Doc.
Well, he does live in a van. He's got
Hey, Dan, this is Doc from
money
the
somehow. Yeah.
That's true. He
His
can
money's
afford
going
the best
somewhere.
buffets.
I tried to call Mr. Phillips. I left 2 messages. Do you by any chance have an email?
What
to
does she
him?
say?
Sometimes that works.
It's not
better.
just a van. It's a series of vans for Shannon.
I just always wondered
Okay,
why
do
he's
that.
not down by the
By the way,
river.
What kind of phone do you have? Oh, because I just tried to text you.
Doc asking
It
what kind of
didn't go
phone do you have.
through.
Can I text you a picture?
Because you're what? I'm not on a cell phone. Oh, okay. All right, anyway, if you can get an email, do that. I'll try him one more time after the show, and then send me his email address, and we'll try it that way as well. Okay. All right? All right. Can I just call back and leave it with whoever answers the phone? No, because just leave it with this number. Okay, what number? You don't have a caller ID?
Here he goes.
Okay, it's 303. That's my direct number.
Doc.
All right, thank you.
Doc. Please tell him don't give his phone number out like that.
Nah, that's part of the fun.
He's going to have all the ladies calling him. He's going to have too many ladies calling him.
Yeah, a lady named Tim.
Or Eric. Hey, Kelly, who do we have in tomorrow? Do you have any idea?
She walked away.
Of course. Hey, did you meet the big boss?
Nope, I was working.
Did you stay away?
I heard a lot of mixed reactions, though.
Oh, tell me, share.
Just that, hey, nothing's going to change around here, even though, I mean, it's our boss's boss's boss, so really, does it really concern us that much?
What did they want to change?
Nothing. They just wanted to spout, from what I hear, about how all Bob and Rich or Bob and Tom or whoever the CEOs are doing great things.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sure, whatever.
That is a big boss. The boss's 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 boss.
Right.
Did he buy lunch?
There was snacks, I think.
Ah.
Like
bags of chips, Snickers
popcorn,
bars.
yeah, chips and popcorn and stuff.
I remember the good old days where you could go into the kitchenette and like once every 2 weeks there'd be snacks.
Oh, yeah. Miss those days.
Or how about the days when they would trade with every restaurant in the entire
We
world?
have food every other week.
And gift cards would be just abundant.
Flowing.
Barbecue every other day.
Have the sales staff, hey, thanks for doing that. Here's a gift card to Hard Rock.
How about Christmas parties that had bands that people have heard of and drinks?
Mark was curious as to who we got tomorrow.
Tell me just Kevin, so I don't have to come in. I don't want to have to come in.
Nah.
I don't want to have to even get near food.
10 seconds.
$1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, hey, hey. I'm Tom, wanting to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. We're here to help you. You can call us anytime, day or night, leave a message. We will get back to you. If you need help, 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. We can also talk to you here now whenever we're on the air at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Diana had a question about an IRA now. The way I understand it, and we'll talk to Gary at Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies in a minute here. So you had an IRA opened in 2009. You funded some money, and now it's worth about $16,000. You want to know all about it, basically. But I need to ask a question. So you have a statement in front of you. You don't remember your original balance compared to what it is now, do you?
No, I don't. No.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. But it's been there since 2009, and it now is worth about 16 grand. Is that what you say?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And what is your question? Gary will answer you. What are your questions?
Well, the thing of it is, I tried to go to my congressperson. I found out it's privately owned.
You don't have to go to a congressperson. What are you trying to find out, Diana?
I'm trying to withdraw some money out of it. And
How old are you right now?
I'm in my 70s, my early 70s.
Well, you should be able to take that out with no penalty whatsoever. You just have to pay tax on it. Are you saying you can't get the money?
It works. That's not the way it works with them.
With who?
Before a board. The name of the outfit is Terra. It's under light. It's a Lightstone. The way it's
Hold on a second. Hold on. I need to ask you something. Is it an IRA or is it an insurance policy? What is it?
No, it's an IRA.
Okay, what did you want, Gary? What were you going to say?
Diana, it sounds to me like you have a self-directed IRA that's held privately. Is that what you understand?
Yes, that's right. They invest in condos and apartments.
I got it.
Okay.
It's a self-directed IRA, trustee. Go ahead.
What you should do is you should request in writing that you begin withdrawals. What year were you born, Diana?
51.
So you have to take your required minimum distributions. The year that you turn 73, you have to begin to take money out of that, or you're going to be penalized 10% plus the normal tax. So they have to put you in a position where they can liquidate that, where you can take your required minimum distributions.
Not according to them.
What's that?
No. Not according to what my broker said.
Well, your broker doesn't know what he's talking about.
Now, what did your broker tell you? Let's hear the process your broker said.
He said I have to apply for it, and either you get it or you don't. It goes before this board, which I've never heard of, and they either okay it or they don't. And plus, you're getting in line, and there's a lot of people that.
Okay, I think you bought shares, didn't you?
Most likely.
Shares of a REIT.
Likely.
Yeah, probably.
A real estate investment trust.
Yeah,
Diana.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
In a REIT, you own shares. If the shares are not marketable, you can't cash them in. And this is the danger of a REIT. REITs can make you tons of money or no money, or actually it will sit there forever and they'll tell you it's worth something, but you can't get it. So what good is it? Now, this is serious stuff. You need to send us a copy of that your latest statement. I'll have my experts look at it.
Yeah, because I can't touch it.
Well,
they said I can't touch it.
Maybe you can. It depends. You got to send us. And when you say a broker, who is the broker? Who is the broker with?
The broker is his name, or
now, what firm is the broker with? The same as the real estate investment trust, or is it an independent?
Lightstone. Lightstone. It's called Lightstone. They're out of Lighthouse Point, Florida. He's down in Florida.
How did you? Here's what I need to know. How did you first learn about this investment?
Okay, so I had a broker, somebody who got me into this.
Got it. Okay.
Fund.
All right.
And he's no longer doing that
I get
kind of work.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm being ripped off.
I don't think you're being ripped off. It could be, but a real estate investment trust is a really, really weird instrument, okay? When you buy shares in it, you're buying shares. It's just like a private note fund or any kind of a private fund where you have to buy shares. They tell you, oh, it's worth this much money, but then when you want to get out, you have to be able to market those shares. And if you can't market those shares, it's worth nothing. So it's weird.
Lovely.
Now, go ahead.
You know, what you could do, Diane, is get us a copy of the statement. Let us draft a letter or help put together a letter for you that you could send to them that we'll get some response on. At least then you'll know what your options are, because my fear, if you don't take the required minimum distributions as scheduled by the IRS code, you're going to be subject to some penalties. So you're going to have to get some tax advice on how to fix that.
Because even if she can't liquidate it, that will still count against her in a qualified fund.
Yes.
Listen, Diana, you're going to need some help, so I'm going to put you on hold, and then Kachina's going to let you know how to get in touch with us and send us that statement, okay? Is that okay? Okay. I guess she's on hold. Kachina, get her to send us a statement. We really have to see what's going on with her. Renee, what's going on with you, Renee? I'm Tom. What's happening, Renee?
Hey, Tom. I have a question. We're selling some property, and my brother's doing the sale and visiting with the realtor. And
what kind of property? Is it residential?
No, it's farm property.
Okay, and what do you need to know about it?
Well, I just wanted to keep everything honest. He's been pretty short on information about.
Do you have it listed? Wait. Do you have it listed with someone?
Yes.
And is this the person that's been sketchy?
Actually, I haven't talked to the realtor. It's my brother. That he's kind of in charge of it, and he's been kind of short on information.
Okay, so who's short on the information, the broker or your brother?
My brother is. I haven't talked to the broker yet.
Okay, what are you trying to find out?
Well, I don't know what I need to ask to make sure everything is honest and.
Do you have a copy of the listing agreement?
No, I haven't seen anything, Tom.
So what are you calling about?
I haven't looked
Renee?
at any.
What exactly are you calling about then?
Did you guys inherit this and he's selling it? I mean, what's the circumstance? Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
How much property? How much
brother.
property, Renee, are we talking about?
We're talking 300 acres.
And where is it?
It's in Nebraska.
And did you guys have an appraisal done?
Yeah. He went through all the steps, but
is he the personal representative of the estate?
Actually, we all are involved, but he was kind of handling that end of it.
So hold on, we all. That tells me there's more than just you and your brother. How many heirs are we talking about?
Yeah, there's 6.
Okay, so you're selling farm property that you and 5 siblings have inherited.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's a whole different story. Then why did your brother take charge?
Well, he's he lives close to the farm, and he was able to deal, to find the realtor and get everything started. And,
well, as
we
an
just kinda
heir,
him
let
handle
me.
it, yeah.
How do the other siblings feel about your brother taking charge?
Oh, no, we had no problem with it.
Okay.
We had no problem with it.
But you want to make sure that it's being done properly?
Yeah.
What
I just
makes
don't
you
want
feel?
to find out later.
Let me ask you another question. What makes
Yeah.
you feel it's not being done properly?
Well, like I said, the closing date, I'm not aware of. I don't know when the closing date is.
Do you have an
And I don't
offer?
know if, yeah. The guy supposedly put money down, and it's gonna be sold the end of the month. And I just had questions on the actual amount of the sale.
You mean you
the
don't even
closing
know how
date.
much? You don't know anything?
Yeah, he gave us an amount, but I want to check and make sure
I
that
get
is
it,
correct.
bro. I get it. How much did he say?
Yeah. Oh, it was like 1.4, somewhere in there, million.
Okay. Can I ask you a straight-out question? Do you trust your brother or not?
I did, but some things have happened that he went back on his word on some deals that we verbally agreed to, and now it's like I think I need to follow up and hold him accountable because we all trusted each other. And until that happened, then I thought, you know what, that's a red flag. I need to make sure this farm sale is it's inappropriate.
All right. I got some ideas for you. Hang on. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Doctors take Field of Greens for their own health. Here's Dr. Ryan Green to explain.
We're like you, too much fast food and not enough exercise. That's why I take Field of Greens. The fruits and vegetables in Field of Greens support my heart, lungs, kidneys, and metabolism for weight loss. And Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back.
Get 50.
10 seconds, Tom.
Promo code radio at fieldofgreens.com. That's promo code radio at fieldofgreens.com. Product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You heard me talk about Frank Duran. He was on the show as our expert. Why? Because he is, above all, a professional, an expert, honest, and a good person. You will know that right from the start. Frank Duran will negotiate and help you in every transaction, whether you're buying or selling, and he'll make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and that your rights are preserved. This man knows what he's doing. He sells more property than anyone at more money and faster. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. I feel about Simply Floors kind of the same way. Buddy and Karen Mitchell, great experts at floor coverings with a dedication to making everyone a winner. That includes their staff, their installers, and their customers. I love that atmosphere. They want to do a great deal for you with great values. And they do all floor coverings at great prices. And I simply want you to call Simply Floors, Inc., inc.com. Make your own appointment. They'll send someone to you with what you're interested in. Or you can go to the stores at 470 in Quebec or 52nd and Ward. Find out more at simplyfloorsinc.com. K&H Home Solutions, the oldest home improvement company in all of Colorado. Windows, doors, siding, and more. K&H has what you're looking for. And right now, bath remodels at a budget and beautiful bath remodels in just a few days. They specialize in converting those old tubs to showers, or they can do any part of the bathroom. Call for your free analysis of your bath and what it will cost. They're open, upfront, and transparent about revitalizing your bathroom, a full range of services. 303-421-7100. Call for bathroom remodels, 303-421-7100, khwindows.com.
Ross, so many people have heard of the Beet Farmers for Saloon in Keystone. What a show. Look at this. All these people who heard of the Beet Farmers in Mojo Nixon. That's awesome. As long as TZ... Look at this. All these people who heard of the... Tried to get her on the show. So, actually, back it up a few seconds. Can we back it? I put his guts in a box and span. Absolutely. I never saw him live. I've just seen, videos of him. The only one we've got in the system, so yeah, we're thankful for at least that. Yeah, thank you for that. Dragon, Steel Panther is coming to.
Steel Panther. Why do I know that name? It's like a tribute band.
They're closed for a season and throw them away. I don't think it'll be too big. That'll be your case. Call.
Is this going to make it better for the
Next year, no matter what. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Everybody stick around the weekend, and we'll talk with you tomorrow.
Do you have your Series 65 or any?
I had it. No.
Does Jairus or Jeff, do they have their 65s?
They've got several. Sure. They don't have a Series 7.
So whether you want to use this tax strategy for the sale of a business, a piece of real estate, or any other highly appreciated asset, you're still using pre-tax dollars. This can be a real game changer that opens up.
Oh yeah, that's neither here nor there. I'm right now studying for a 65, so yeah, not that I'm ever going to touch money or I'm never going to advise people, but my term of savings best that I have. Just to have it.
We have a 115 with John Fuller. Shannon should have put Access 1 on the board if he didn't forget.
Yep.
Someday we will see some sunshine for you.
K-How. Responsibility.
You didn't take it all right here.
Positively. Get it. 30713-825.
Good.
An iHeartRadio station. The wrong way is not knowing who you can trust. That's why I recommend David Ellis Jewelry on 3rd and Design and material options and opinions, by the way. 625-5554. I've known him 40 years. It's time you get to know him. Then waterpros.net. Opening or conditioning, or you know about it, that's closed on their website. That's 720 degrees overnight lows. Opened at Vail Pass Summit. Block and crashed it. What your original contribution to time. Set up a free consultation. ENREV First Talk Station. Online at khow.com. Your loan, you can do your banking inside your mortgage. Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
I wonder how long it'll take us to bring it to
10 seconds, guys.
Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hello, Tom Martino here. What's on your mind today and how can we help you? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So Renee is part of an inheritance and the siblings are selling real estate, about 300 acres. More than $1 million. He wants to make sure everything's being done right. Very simple, Renee. If in fact you are one of the inheritors, or heirs, I should say, you have a right to see any and all documents. So did you ask for a copy of the listing agreement? Excuse me, of not the listing, the sales agreement.
No, I'm fixing to meet with the realtor, and I need to know what they're
here's
asked
what
for.
you ask.
So I
It's
know,
very simple.
Yeah,
Let me just tell you what to do.
Sure.
If
okay.
you're meeting with the real estate person and you are one of the heirs, you simply say, I'm one of the heirs with equal rights to everyone. Therefore, I would like, for my own records, a copy of the listing agreement, a copy of the recent offer and acceptance, and every document that has to do with selling it. Then once you get that, if you need someone to help you look it over, which you should, then we can do that. But you have a right, and if that real estate person says, I'm sorry, I can't share that with you, then they're full of crap.
Yeah, okay.
If you are truly one of the heirs.
Yes.
Do the other heirs
Awesome.
do the other heirs want information?
Oh yes, they're all curious too. And I
Is your
thought, well, I'm
brother
gonna have
keeping this on the down low on purpose? Why is your brother doing
I don't know. That's why we're all surprised, because we're not like that. We've always been real tight family, look out for each other, and honest. And then all of a sudden, we're thinking like, we need to follow up on some of this dealings that's going on, because none of us have anything in writing, have seen no paperwork, and no paperwork has been offered by my brother. So I'm thinking I'm going to go visit with the realtor.
Okay. Listen. What's really important? Have you ever asked your brother?
No, I don't think I have. I've asked him who the owner is, and he was kind of like he couldn't remember his name.
You mean the
Not
buyer?
The owner,
You mean
the buyer?
the buyer?
The buyer, yes, the buyer, yes, Tom, the buyer, and he wasn't sure. And I thought, wow, so that was a red flag.
Now you said your brother, just out of curiosity, has not come through on some things. Like, give me an idea.
Oh well, he bought out some one of my uncles that had interest in the farm, bought him out, and he was supposed to how do I say this, Tom? My uncle had 30%. He bought him out, and we all agreed he could do that, but when we sold the farm, he would get paid back on that loan that he took out for that 30% buyout. And everybody would be on equal basis again. Well, he decided instead to do that, to keep 30% of the farm instead of putting, instead of staying with that original agreement of getting paid back when the farm sold, and everybody would be equal again.
Well, it sounds to me like you might be, I don't know, you might be overthinking this. I'm not sure your brother's doing anything wrong, but we'll certainly look into it once you get those documents, or if you have trouble getting them, let us know. 303-713-8255. As you know, we're awaiting the Supreme Court ruling, and they're not even done with the hearing, and it's going to take a while to come down, but it can't take too long. Mark, when you were watching the proceedings, did anyone tell you or suggest when it might be disclosed?
No, I don't know, but I mean, they actually have their court clerks and stuff, or whatever they're called, write up the opinions, and then if there is a dissenting opinion, I mean, that's not going to be done instantly. I would assume fairly quick, though.
Would you say a day or two this week? Well, this week is tomorrow, I guess.
I would say by the end of next week, but I don't know. I have no idea how quick that stuff can be.
Yeah, I know, but when is
I cannot imagine, though, under any place, and I'm open to take any wagers out there, by the way, that Trump will not be on the ballot in Colorado.
You think they're going to rule it's a federal issue?
Yeah, they're going to, in my opinion, they're going to rule that basically Colorado, a state, does not have the power to remove Trump from the ballot.
By the way, other major news in the courts is district or circuit, the Ninth Circuit, first the 11th Circuit, then it was taken to the Ninth Circuit. But it has to do with stem cell therapy. It's major news. And what I'd like to do is try during the break, I'll try to get my expert on, and we'll talk about it, as well as your problems, questions, and complaints. And then we have Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies with us as well. And I'd love for you to come to this summit tonight. We're going to be talking about retirement and the elements for retirement. It's really good for any age. And it's going to be at 6 o'clock. You can just get a free seat, and it's not going to be long, by the way. The whole thing will be less than an hour probably. So come on over and go to rpcenter.com to find out more. rpcenter.com.
This is Denver's talk station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW.
Again,
Denver.
not in power, but okay.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Tudor Dixon Podcast.
Another easy drive throughout the Denver Metro for the noon hour. No major complaints out there. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. Some congestion on the 6th Avenue eastbound off-ramp to I-25 southbound. Up on the northwest end of town, roadwork continues I-76 westbound. At Sheridan Boulevard, we're seeing slow traffic back from Pecos. About 2 minutes of delays. Not too bad for this time of day. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies, high of 50 degrees before the day's end, overnight low of 25. Tomorrow, rain with a high of 44. That rain turning to snow over Friday night into Saturday. The current temperature in Denver is 50 degrees with your Impact Traffic and Weather. Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
The Republican Party is headed in the wrong direction if people continue to listen to the problematic statements by Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. We'll have an honest talk with Pastor Daryl Scott and expose the craziness. It's the Tudor Dixon Podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Joseph A. Lazara, he's a criminal defense attorney that I hope you never need. Joseph A. Lazara, however, is available to you for free consultations if ever you have trouble, and then flat rate pricing for whatever the offense is. Here's something that is a fact. Everyone deserves an attorney, even if you want to plead guilty. You need to go through the system with an attorney. Don't ever try to do it alone, and don't shop under pressure. LazaraLegal.com. You can also find Joe at referralist.com, 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200. I can't tell you enough on how Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, can serve you. Now, we talked about getting someone to represent you when you're buying or selling. Right now, I want to tell you about a free market valuation of your home. So many people wonder, what can I get for my home in this market with interest rates the way they are, with supply and demand the way it is, with my neighborhood, my house, the size of my house? He'll take all those factors into consideration free of charge and do an analysis on what you will gross, what you will net, even what you can buy. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Mark?
Yes.
Do you know who Empower's rep is?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show. Sure. What's your name? Okay. Hang on for me, and he'll be with you momentarily. I'm sorry? Oh, over the weekend? Last weekend? I got a foot at my house. But in most of the neighborhoods here, it was like, yeah, anywhere between 10 and 11 inches. I was on a little bit of the higher end. All right, hang on. I remember the weather from last weekend.
A week ago? Yeah.
God, it was snowing like crazy.
Do we have Dragon now?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be getting somebody on my cell phone, same drill.
Okay.
We already
Thank you,
talked-
sir.
We already talked about it and stuff, so.
I have drank so much goddamn water today.
Water's good for you.
I know, but also it makes you pee a lot.
Hello? Joel, can I put you on hold?
You can.
Okay, just monitor me. I'll take you after I have one more call.
Gotcha. And I found out some more information, so we're good.
Good, thanks.
All right, 10 seconds, buddy.
All right.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Bill, you have a comment on real estate, on that issue, possibly. Go ahead, Bill.
Okay, I'm going to do a little preaching here for a second. Because I've been involved in family things. It's got to, I remember I called you up a while ago on some property with some brothers and sisters. Money's the root of all evil. You know, when it comes down to estates and stuff like that, if someone's got the upper hand and got their hands on it, a lot of times they'll stick in it and they ain't going to give it to the other guy.
Well, people
you
do
know what
get
I mean?
crazy.
I hope I made myself clear. Just
No,
that
people
money.
do get crazy with money. You're right.
Yeah, well, everybody wants. You know,
yeah, got it.
I don't know why people are like that. I mean, I've had it with me. I was an executive in one of my uncles, and then I went another person in the family. Well, I'll get a lawyer because one of the kids weren't in the
You
will.
know, so many estates, by the way, Bill, while we're on the topic, so many estates waste hundreds of thousands of dollars hiring a public administrator because they can't get along. And it's the worst thing a family can do is get a public administrator. Your money.
Sure it is. My wife's family, little issue came up, and it's not little. It's $1 million worth. They're not talking to each other now.
Well, anyway,
Okay.
You wanted to preach. Did you also have a tip for that?
No. Well, yeah. Go get a lawyer.
Yeah, for sure, Bill. He should at least check out the transaction.
Right.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. To make sure it's being done properly, even if it's your brother handling it. You know, look, it happens all the time. People want to pillage the estate. They look for what's in it for me. I want to talk to Dr. Joel Tridak. He's with DenverRegen.com. Joel, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, man. I want to talk to you. I read this morning the Ninth Circuit made a ruling, and I believe that it's very significant for stem cells. Basically, to sum this up, the FDA sued a clinic for using stem cells and manipulating them and then re-injecting them. And they said by manipulating them, they really should be regulated as a drug. It's not a surgical procedure, but a drug. The clinic argued it's not a drug. We're not taking donors. We're taking it from the person, re-injecting it. It's a procedure. You don't control our procedures. Now, I want to mention this. Years ago, clinics got in trouble for doing this, for manipulating stem cells and re-injecting them, which, by the way, is more effective than regular stem cell treatment. It's the best stem cell treatment you can get. And in fact, some doctors used to get in trouble for it. They stopped doing it. And in order for Americans to get that kind of treatment in the past, up till now, they've had to go to another country where they manipulate these stem cells, because the FDA has always held that if you manipulate stem cells, they become drugs, and they're regulated, and you can't do it without all the clinical trials and all of that. So all of you guys, including DenverRegen.com, would do regular stem cells. You would take them out, put them back in. And by the way, even the regular stem cell therapy I had, it was the most remarkable treatment I've ever had. If I had to bring up a negative about it, it was that it happened 3 to 4 months later, and I forgot to, I didn't forget. I said, Joel, wait a minute. I think this is stem cells working. You said, because people expect to feel something in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. It took me a few months, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, wow, I've never been stronger there, and no pain. So anyway, what is your take on this ruling? Is it going to improve what you guys can do?
I'll explain everything to you, and I'll try to make it as concise as possible. So just to backtrack a little bit, the Ninth Circuit Court has not actually ruled on it yet. It was a lower judge's decision in California to allow for the fat extracted stem cells. We have bone extracted, we have fat extracted. They're just addressing the fat extracted. That fat extracted stem cells were not a drug because they were minimally manipulated. Interestingly, also, that lower court judge said that you can still expand those and grow more cells out of them, and that still does not fall under FDA purview, which is new, which is something that they never allowed before. So anyway, the FDA is appealing that decision to the Ninth Circuit Court, who heard arguments and will be making a ruling.
You're right. You're right. I'm reading this now. So it was ruled in favor of stem cell therapy of the clinics, and then the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, I believe, they went to the Ninth Circuit to appeal it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So we're waiting for a ruling there, and so it's the Ninth Circuit Court has usually been pretty favorable to medical procedures for people. If you recall, this is the same area of the country that first legalized the use of medical marijuana to treat ailments without, tons of research and whatnot. I believe that the arguments are valid. The other thing that is there's precedent with the bone marrow extracted stem cells. The same fight occurred a little more than a decade ago, and that's when it was determined that you could minimally manipulate them, meaning you extract them from the body, clean them, isolate it, and then inject them right back in. The courts were clear that they consider that not to be a new drug, and they don't regulate that under the FDA. They don't require the pharmaceutical companies to be involved in that transaction or that service, if you will.
But what didn't the 11th Circuit actually?
Mark, hold on. Mark has a question. Go ahead, Mark.
Didn't the 11th Circuit actually say, though, it sided with the FDA? So even if the Ninth Circuit comes back, then you're going to have two rulings that are completely opposite, meaning the Supreme Court's going to end up deciding.
Wait a minute.
That's correct.
Okay. The 11th Circuit, I believe I believe the 11th Circuit, they appealed that one, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, they won the injunction. The FDA won the injunction.
And then that was appealed.
Well, no, I believe they won the injunction. I don't know if it's been appealed, but who would it be appealed to?
That's what. So what happened? Did this clinic go from the 11th to the 9th?
No, they're equal.
No, it's a completely separate case.
Okay, got it. Okay. So the
11th has ruled that it is actually manipulation. I believe. I'm speculating, but because we're all still allowed to do it, I believe that's been stayed, and now we're awaiting that Ninth Circuit Court decision, and that's as much as I know right now. And as far as how it affects what types of service we're able to provide,
I'm reading the 11th Circuit, by the way, and right here it says, I thought it said that they agree it is not a drug. Maybe I'm reading it wrong.
No, I believe that they said it was.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm reading the attorney's arguments. Sorry about that. In any case, this lower court judge that said it was not a drug, if that is upheld, what takes precedent, the 11th or the 9th? I don't know.
That's a good question.
No, then the Supreme Court starts looking at it, guys.
A continued stay.
I think it would have to go to the Supreme Court, wouldn't it?
That's correct.
So the question before the court now, when you manipulate these cells, does it become a controlled substance, basically? Does it become?
Or does, more importantly, does the
Have
FDA
you
have
done
jurisdiction?
enough manufacturing of it for it to be considered a synthetic drug, basically?
Right. Though, why wouldn't it be considered, and I don't want to get too complicated, but you are allowed to compound drugs as a doctor. You're allowed to do that. Sure. You can compound any combination you want for your patient, and it does not have to go through FDA approval. So doctors compound all the time. So if that's the case, why wouldn't stem cells be considered a compounded substance? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking.
What I would speculate, Tom, is that you're still using the drugs that they're using to create the compounded drugs are still drugs that are FDA approved. So
okay.
You're still talking about drugs. And I think the primary crux of the argument is are stem cells, when you extract them from somebody's body, a drug or not?
Hey, can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Doc.
What about blood? If you take blood out of somebody and give it to them later in surgery, isn't that the same thing?
It's almost.
That's one of the arguments.
And here's the other thing, Doc. I'll go one step further. Why aren't they upset about PRP? You're definitely manipulating blood.
That's my point.
Not regular blood, but PRP, platelet-rich therapy. That is absolutely manipulating, isn't it?
Right, but the one thing, you're taking blood out.
It's no different. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's no different than stem cells.
It's the same process.
Okay, so this is something. Go ahead.
My feeling, Tom, really is that the efficacy of stem cell therapy and the proliferation of it, and the fact that it's been proven now by many clinics over the course of over a decade to be extremely effective, that it is cutting into the market for joint replacements, medical device manufacturers, and people who have large financial big pharma interests in it. So, of course, they're going to fight it, because if they can eliminate stem cell procedures, then that just kind of brings the market back to them, where they can control it and control the money. And that may sound conspiratorial, but I feel like I've lived in this country long enough to understand how things work in that way. So that's my gut feeling about why
I think there's validity to that, but I think there's also validity that years ago, when the FDA started looking at this, there was a bunch.
Break when you can, Tom.
Selling stem cells to anybody that had $5,000 that were all dead and did nothing.
I got to take a break, but there is one thing I want to say that is very critical here. Compounded drugs, it's recommended by the FDA that they use approved ingredients. However, their compounded drugs may include ingredients that are not FDA approved if the physician agrees that they will benefit the patient at hand. But they must be regarded as GRAS, generally recognized as safe. Now, I don't think they can put strychnine in it or something like that, but it does not have to be an FDA approved drug for that purpose, as long as it's generally approved as safe. We have more coming up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna
hang up. Driving there at the Denver Metro
right, bro,
for
thanks.
the early afternoon commute. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. Over on the west end, I-70 westbound, some usual road construction in the left lane between Sheridan and Harlan, slow traffic back from Pecos. Over on the east end of town and near DIA, E470 northbound, some stop and go after I-70. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. Another warm-ish day out there today. Highs in the low 50s, overnight low of 25. Tomorrow, rain and snow on Saturday as well. The current temperature in Denver is that high of 50 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
I'm Ben Ferguson. And I'm Ted Cruz. Big tech under fire for hurting kids and helping pedophiles target our children.
Plus, Biden sanctions Texas by attacking LNG exports.
Hear it all. Download Verdict with Ted Cruz wherever you get your podcasts.
Lazy Days RV, the RV Authority, now available for service of your RVs. If you go to that north facility, you will love it. Brand new and ready to take on your RV. If you're looking for a place to get honest, dependable service, you can go to exit 240 and I-25 and go south on Frontage Road. It's on the east side of the road. It's called, it used to be Century RV. It's now LazyDays.com. It's Century RV turned to Lazy Days. So the name now is Lazy Days of Denver at Longmont. And give you the number, 303-453-1111. And, of course, they do sales as well as service. If you're looking for safe, conservative investments that guarantee return, guarantee not to lose a dime of gain, not to lose a dime of principal, and to provide income, then you want to check out becomethebanker.org. And, of course, Joe Chiano and his family of friends have a company of financial advisors that can help you through uncertain times. Give them a call, 303-779-6600, 779-6600, becomethebanker.org. All I'm saying is the marketing schemes. Now,
by the way, so I don't think you were here a couple weeks ago. I think you were actually off that day, and Jazzy was in to do like the last couple hours, and then he stayed on for Leland. So for whatever reason, we could not get Anthony's. It was like a couple Fridays ago. Might have been a month ago. I don't know. Anyway, bygones. We ended up getting DoorDash from...
was this when you DoorDash twice?
No, that was my... No, that was just my asshole delivery from Jimmy John's. Yeah, that went twice. No, we actually ordered for everyone, and it was... I want to say it was like New York Deli News or something like that. It wasn't like a typical delivery place. It was so freaking expensive. DoorDash.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like $9 or $10 for the delivery.
Yeah.
Our
and then
kids
they
got
put
it
a
one
tax
time.
on top of that, and then they wanted a tip on top of that. I was like,
Our kids got McDonald's one time DoorDashed, and it was like, you know, they got fries and milkshakes, and it was like $35.
Yeah. It is so expensive.
Plus, they stick their fingers in their ear and nose and then put
But
them
it's
in
not just DoorDash; it's all of them. Uber Eats is just as expensive, and
Yep.
What's the other one? Grubhub or something?
Yeah.
It's not as expensive as a DUI, though.
True. Not if you don't get caught.
Kind of on the same level is why Adam and I aren't getting a car right now, because we like kind of did the math and we're like, okay, it's $28 to Uber here. Usually I can get you or take you at least one way, so it's really only either home
And you got Shannon who'll ride you home.
or coming. And I do have Shanny sauce
Uber's becoming a ripoff.
and sometimes
Huge.
Ryan. So, but doing the math, if you go and buy a used car right now, like we looked at both. We looked at leasing a car and we looked at a used car. It was still going to be right around the same price. And so it's like, oh my God. When we bought our cars, it wasn't that well, the BMW is expensive, but I mean, it's just kind of like, okay, I can Uber $28 one way versus $29,000 down on a car, and then having I mean, because even the most basic models are so expensive. Like we looked at a Ford, the hell are they called, Ford Explorers?
Yeah.
Just SUV kind of thing, and yeah, it was like $70,000 or something, and we're like, God, I don't think we need another car for $70,000.
We used to land at the Vegas airport, and it would cost maybe $8 to get over to anything on the Strip. It's $20-something bucks now, just in the last year.
Really? Is it that expensive?
Oh, it's absolutely crazy. Then from like say MGM to go downtown, old downtown, I mean you could easily be $30.
5 seconds.
Wow.
Going mid 4.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Lindsay, what's going on with you, Lindsay? Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on?
Hey, Tom. Thanks so much for having me. So basically, I took my truck into a body shop for repairs, and they've had it for 90 days, more than 90 days. Yeah, they have refused from the time that I dropped my vehicle off to give me an estimated date of completion.
Why did you drop it off if they wouldn't give you an estimated time?
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't aware that they were required by law to do so.
I don't think they are required by law. I don't know of any law. Now, I might be wrong here, but I don't know of any law that they have to tell you when it's going to be done.
So I've been doing quite a bit of research on the Motor Vehicle Repair Act, and it does say there that they are required to give me estimated completion. I just was not aware of that when I dropped it off, and maybe I'm interpreting it.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I know about the Auto Repair Act, but let's neither here nor there. Let's talk about this. First and foremost, was this a repair you were having done on your own dime, on your insurance, or somebody else's insurance?
It's through my insurance.
And what was it, a collision or what?
It was a collision, yes.
Okay. And what were the circumstances? An accident with another car? I just want to find out all the circumstances.
Yes, I was in an at-fault accident with another vehicle.
All right, that's enough. That's okay. I just wanted to know. So, and when you went to the body shop, did you go for them to order parts first or just drop it off?
Well, I asked them, this is actually one of the frustrating things about it. I asked the insurance company to find someone that would see my truck ahead of time.
Hold on, we'll come back to you because this is happening all over the country right now, and we have to explore this. Hang on. I want to continue with this.
All right.
Thanks. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You need anything, Gary? No, I'm good.
We don't have anything until 1:15. Like I said, he should be on Access 1.
Yeah.
I told him, but... Hey, Mark?
Hey, did you guys see that Biden willfully disclosed classified docs?
Hey, Mark?
Yeah.
Both Jeff and Kevin will be here tomorrow unless they need to go straight to Tom's.
Nah, they can't go to Tom's. He doesn't have room for two.
Okay.
Can you imagine Kevin sitting on that little drum stool?
Well, I'm sure you'll get pizza.
I might eat tonight, so I don't know. I got to turn this up, though. I am hoping this is big news.
Fucking bitch better not ever post one again.
Justices will now have to decide. It looks like there's a strong majority, perhaps even a unanimous court, that will keep Donald Trump on the ballot in Colorado and write it in such a way that this 14th Amendment issue will be laid to rest in this way.
Of course it does, because you can't manage your force for dick.
National Football League. And I think at its if they sell shares, it sure as hell is. So
I want to read this. It says, quote, we have also considered that at trial, Mr. Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during our interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory. Based on our direct interactions with and observations of him, he's someone from whom many jurors will want to identify reasonable doubt. It would be difficult to convince a jury that they should convict him, by then a former president well into his 80s, of a serious felony that requires a mental state of willfulness. This is directly from page 6 of the report, but as I noted with John and Sanders just about 8 minutes ago or so, they're assuming that President Biden either wouldn't run in, for another term or
jury term.
November, because this would now take another 4 years.
Just why do people send in so many?
So we see picture after picture of documents that are in his garage. Some of the other key passages, it says there is no evidence that Mr. Biden shared classified information with any foreign person. In January 2017, after the end of his vice presidency, Mr. Biden found classified documents at his Virginia home and returned them. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Critical of him, no question, saying that he did willfully take classified documents. But
REIT.
Ten seconds here, guys.
Yo.
Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. We are here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. And with me today, we have Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. I have Gary Hansen with us, and we're having a retirement summit tonight. We call it Freedom Summit for Retirement, and that is going to be at the Delta Event Center, which is in Thornton. It's the Marriott Hotel, and it starts at 6. We're not going to take a long time to preach to you or try to sell you anything. I promise you that. We will be absolutely transparent about everything, including what I'm doing. I'll be there. And we want you to mostly ask questions. Gary Hansen's with us. And Gary, one of the things I think people are tired of, and I swear to God, it's just so rampant, is being hustled. No, I'm serious. Everybody's got something, and everything they have is the best.
Well, we take a whole different approach, Tom. I've done this for 49 years. That's scary. But I've been down both roads, and believe me, we find that our clients are happier, and so are we, when we can just deal with the comprehensive approach. And gosh, just come meet us. Let's talk. Let's see if there's a common ground to visit about. And let's not waste your time, and we certainly won't waste our time.
If nothing else, you'll learn about the important elements of a retirement plan.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And if you want a review, you can have a free review of all of that. And the important thing is this. There truly is no one thing. There truly isn't.
No.
First of all, I personally do not believe the stock market is 100% bad or 100% good. I don't think annuities are 100% good or 100% bad. I mean, it just truly is, and reverse loans are not 100% bad, 100% good. It depends on the situation. Everything in life, everything with finances depends on circumstances, the amounts you put in it, the amounts you allocate, and how you manage it.
Well, we have to do a fiduciary-driven discovery meeting, Tom, before we can even recommend. So we're going to dig really deep with clients to make sure we understand the full picture. And ultimately, most of our clients will have money spread very well into several different sectors of the economy.
Right. That's good. And by the way, if you want a seat tonight, it's free. There's no cost. There's nothing. Just rpcenter.com has the invitation up there. rpcenter.com. It's front and center. Just call them or you can call 970-663-3211. We left off with Lindsay, and Lindsay, she has an issue with a Ideal Car Star Auto Body, I think. Where is this located, Lindsay?
It's in Arvada.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I don't think it's unique to Ideal. I don't think it's unique to CarStar. I think it's just a problem in the industry, and I don't know why. But we're having a big problem all over because people, I mean, my car had a simple little thing, and I went and had the parts ordered first. I went in there so they could order parts. Then, because it was drivable, I took it away, and then they were to tell me when to come back, and we made a date when they thought the parts would be there. And then it still took, I think, over 2 weeks. That's when they had the parts. So yours, though, you're saying 90 days they've had it?
More than 90. I dropped it off on
excessive.
November 7th.
Okay, so let's just start with why do they say they've had it so long?
Well, and that's the thing. I have called several times asking to speak to management, and they refuse. They dance around my questions when I call them and ask them what's going on. So there's a huge lack of transparency with their organization between their customers. And my biggest issue is for the first month, it was sitting there when they told me it was being worked on, and it was not.
See, that's the part that pisses me off, is when they order parts or they do things that they could do when you're not there. You know, I mean, excuse me, when your truck's not sitting there. That's the part that is really stupid. I mean, so now, where does it stand?
Yeah, but if they don't have parts, what else would they do with it, honestly? If all the parts aren't there, they're going to tie up a bay?
No. What I'm talking about, Mark, is in my case, I went, and now this is if a car is drivable. Was your car drivable?
Yes.
I went, Mark, and they examined it and ordered the parts, but I took my car back. They just ordered the parts. They didn't disassemble.
Why didn't you do that then?
Lindsay, why
Well,
didn't you?
I actually asked them when I took it in, because I explained to them I'm a small business owner. I need my vehicle for work, and I don't have a rental car coverage. So I asked them, if you're going to have to order some stuff and my vehicle is drivable, can I please pick it up and then drop it back off? And they agreed to that before I even turned the keys over to them for my truck. So when the time came for them to order a part, they said it was going to take 2 to 4 weeks for that to come in. And I asked them if I could go ahead and take control back of my vehicle so I could use it. And they said, we're going to proceed with other body work while we're waiting for, they had to replace the frame. And I understand that is a long process.
Wait a minute. So
but
they
it's a lack
said
of communication that's the problem.
So basically, you had to get your whole frame replaced?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes. So the problem is that I did ask them if I could go ahead and take my truck and bring it back when the frame came in, and they said, we're going to go ahead and do all the rest of the painting, all the exterior body work while we wait for the frame. That way when the frame comes in, we can get it right on the list and we'll have it out of here within 2 weeks. So when the frame came in, I went in and saw my truck, and they hadn't done any of the repairs at all that they told me they were doing in the time we were waiting for the frame.
So what do they say
Then
now?
when
Did they start on it now?
They did start on it now, and it's actually almost done. I think where I'm needing some advice is wanting to know my rights as a consumer for, they've just passed me around. My truck was sitting there when I wasn't able to use it. It's caused me significant financial distress. And
well, if you're going to try to make a legal case, to get damages, I don't think it's going to work. That's just my own opinion. Unless they were negligent, I don't think you're going to be able to prove negligence. Help me out here. Tell me what you're trying to get. Just say it. What are you trying to get? Money?
Well, I think I personally feel from a customer service standpoint, and the fact that my vehicle was sitting for weeks without being touched.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you the same exact question. You've stated your case, okay, and this is what I always like to say. Therefore, what?
I feel like they should waive my deductible.
Okay, so there is something you want. How much is your deductible?
Yes, $900.
Okay, what did they say when you offered that?
They basically said, oh, we haven't waived your deductible yet? And I said, no, not yet. And he said, well, we'll look at that again.
I asked our attorney, and Colorado Auto Repair Act does not explicitly require repair shops to provide an estimated completion date for repairs. However, as a common industry practice, they often do, but it is not required by the. So I don't know where you're getting that. Can you point me to because you need to point me to that area. Then again, if they violated it and didn't give you a completion date, what do you do about it? I mean, you accepted that. You kind of took it in without a completion date, right?
Yes, because I wasn't aware of that at the time. So there is a second part. Now they found a completely unrelated issue. They wanted me to pay for it, not related to the accident.
What is it?
It was there when I took it in. But it's an issue with my air suspension. I suspected it was related to the accident. It turns out it wasn't. They wanted me to pay for it. I said this should be covered under warranty.
Well, what year is your truck?
It's a 2016.
It's not under warranty. What warranty would it be under?
I bought it used, so it's an extended warranty.
They don't.
So
okay.
Here's
Tell
the
me
thing.
What's wrong with the air suspension system, by the way?
They said that it was worn down. One of the lines was worn down because it's a defect in the way that it was manufactured.
Was it an aftermarket system?
No. Nope, it came with the truck.
Where did you get this? What is the name of your extended warranty?
It's through Assurant. And so
first of all, I wouldn't have this body shop do that repair to begin with, or are they saying it's mandatory right now?
Well, the thing is I asked them to find out if it was covered. Over a course of 2 weeks, they lied and said they sent in the paperwork. When I followed up with the warranty company, they hadn't submitted anything. I kept calling to follow up to find out if they had found out it was covered, and then they called me and told me they went ahead and replaced that part without my consent or knowledge.
How much?
I don't know. They never gave me a price on that. It was covered under warranty.
Wait. So it was covered?
Yes.
Okay, then why do you care?
Because there's a deductible.
And how much is that
they did not
deductible?
discuss with me. It's a $200 deductible from what they said.
Can I tell you
and then
something? You better
you
be
would've
really.
paid that
I would
anywhere.
be really, really happy if they got something covered under warranty that they discovered after an accident, because that warranty company could have so put you together and said, we're not covering it. You are so lucky they covered it. I mean, really. Listen, I would be upset about the 3 months. I'm not going to be upset about the other thing. I'm just telling you that right now. So what I would do right now is there's not much you can. Let's put it this way, Lindsay. I don't think you're going to get anything from them for keeping your car 3 months. There's nothing they did that was negligent. They did not. They weren't negligent. I mean, you got to prove that they did something wrong to cost you damages. And to be honest with you, I just don't see it. If I did, I would let you know. I mean,
right.
Almost everyone is having a problem with parts and all of that. If they can show they worked diligently during this time and did not, you would have to, even if you wanted to go to small claims court, let's say for $1,000, $2,000, whatever you said your losses were, you'd have to show they breached their duty to you. They somehow were negligent. And I'm not sure how you can do that. I think that you're upset. And I understand why. You feel like you were lied to and led on, right? But they got your job, they did it, and now it's almost done. So I think you're wasting time. I'm being straight with you. A lot of times people don't hear what they want on the show, and I feel bad about that, but I still can't change it just because people are going to feel bad about it. I'd rather be honest with you so you're not wasting a lot of time. I wouldn't be happy with them. I wouldn't recommend them. No. Maybe they could have been more efficient, but and especially the part where they said, well, we're going to start right away, and it sat there for a week. That would have pissed me off. But it was a week, right? So I don't think there's anything we can do about it. 303-713-8255.
Yesterday. Well, that's so yesterday. But with the iHeartRadio app, you can have KHAL
All right, you got about 20 seconds, and Fuller's on access. He's ready to go.
on the iHeartRadio app. Just
Did you get his
download the
approval?
app today to listen. Not yesterday. Well, okay, maybe tomorrow on the podcast, but you can listen live. Just go to the App Store and download the free iHeartRadio app to listen to me and all
Whose approval for what?
hell. The
being
iHeartRadio
on
app,
there.
bringing you K.
Oh.
Brown.
He called us, so it's fine.
Download the iHeartRadio app now.
You know, I often talk about John Fuller and how you can call, talk to John, decide whether it's a good fit. If you hire him, he works on a percentage fee basis. He fights tenaciously for your rights and damages. He even negotiates expenses at the end to net you more money. And how you get that personalized touch. All of this I talk about. But you know something I've never asked? During that initial consultation, I always say, if you think it's a good fit. John, have you ever decided not to take a case?
Plenty of times, Tom. So here's the beauty of the free consultation. It's not going to be a perfect fit always, and there are cases where I genuinely believe that you may not need an attorney, or that it's really a different specialty than what I do. And so I would rather talk to those people, give them my thoughts, try to steer them in the right direction, or if it's not a case that requires an attorney, give them the tidbit of information that they need to perhaps handle that matter all by themselves. And I just think that's a good way to do business. And that way, if we decide to go forward, it is a good fit, and we all have reasonable expectations of where we're going to end up on that case.
And speaking of like steps they can take, what are some of the things, let's say for someone you don't take a case, what would be some of the things you would tell them to do?
Well, I mean, take property damage for an example. We frequently get calls from people that are not injured, but that have damage to their car, and they're fighting with the insurance company over what to do. And even though we don't handle property damage claims. In my particular case, I wrote a book on how to handle property damage, and I'll give it to you for free. But other cases that do have minor injuries, say only maybe $1,000 or $2,000, and it's not something that really justifies having an attorney, I'll explain to them how their MedPay is supposed to work and how the claims process works, and give them some guidance on how they can perhaps navigate that system themselves.
And they can get the book at your website?
Yeah, just go to my website, click on the link, enter your email. We're not going to sell your information to anybody, but that'll get the link sent right to you, and you can download it. It's an ebook format. It's completely free.
Okay, and that's myaccidentlawyer.co, and you can always call John at 303-597-4500. Hey, Simply Floors, Inc., what are they? They're a floor covering store outfit with the sales, service, warranty work, installers, everything you need. And Buddy and Karen Mitchell, they run a great shop, and they have great deals, no job too small. They'll talk to you about your floor coverings. Go over and see them at 470 Quebec or 52nd and Ward, the southwest corner. Or you can make an appointment online. They'll come to you with what you're interested in, whether it be luxury vinyl tile, carpeting. You can get hardwoods, engineered floors. Check them out, simplyfloorsinc.com.
I miss being blissfully ignorant. I didn't pay attention to a damn thing. Life was a lot more fun. Now you know that you always knew nobody played fair. But when it's this obvious that when you're on one side versus the other side.
Yep. And now you really can't be.
At least with one of them, it's with Orange Man Bad. You can say, yeah, he was president. He's allowed to have these classified documents. You can arguably make that case. But for Mumbles, what does Liebman call him? Mumbles McHair Sniffer? It's just...
One of the best things I ever did was AI.
Was what?
Is subscribe to AI. I'm serious, man. I ask it so many questions.
You just use it as your Google now, don't you?
Almost, yeah.
There's some time. Oh my God. Oh.
I don't know why Google doesn't just incorporate it into their search engine.
Bing does.
Oh, so you get like intelligent answers?
Yeah, just go to Bing.com.
Biden presented as elderly man. Well, that's because he is. He's almost as old as Tom.
Doc?
I'm not going to have anybody left. I'm going to have all defendants, I mean. I don't even know who I'm going to get for a witness.
10 seconds here, guys.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. LJ's got a question on timeshare. LJ, what is happening?
Not a whole lot. How are you, Mr. Tom?
Good. What can I do for you, man?
Well, my parents had a timeshare that they've had for 20 plus years. The actual piece of the, I guess, mortgage has been paid off, and now they just have the maintenance fees. Well, my dad passed away 2 years ago, and so my mom is just getting in the part of being able to get out of it. She's in her 80s. I don't think any of us kids are beneficiaries on there, and I'm not sure what the process is. It's a Wyndham property, and I know they have an exit team, but didn't know if you had any.
Well, let me ask you a few things. Let me ask you a few things, LJ. How much is this burden to her every year?
It's about $75 a month in just maintenance. That's it.
Yeah, and there could be special assessments that come up, so it's definitely something she wants to get out of. What kind of income and substance does she have?
So she just has Social Security, and my dad was with the government, so she's got an annuity that comes in, and that's it, but it's not very much.
And is that annuity a government annuity, like a government pension of some kind, or is it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And from what?
A government pension from his retirement.
Okay. Gary, can they garnish his government annuity? Do you know? Retirement Planning Center. Can they garnish his government annuity?
I don't believe so.
Nor his Social Security. No. Okay, does she own a home?
They own the house right now. It's not. No, I shouldn't say they own it, but they still have a mortgage that's due on it.
How much equity in the house?
There might be $100,000 in it.
Okay, she is judgment proof right now. She has an exclusion far in excess of $100,000 because of her age. I don't see how they can come after her for anything if she just stopped paying.
Okay.
She might, now listen, it might be scary for her. I don't know. She probably doesn't need credit. They might try to ruin her credit. They might try to threaten her. She may just tell them, look, I'm not paying anymore. I paid it for 20 plus years. I'm not paying anymore. If you want to come after me, come after me. If you want the timeshare, I'll give it back to you. She's judgment proof. Let me tell you a couple things. Even if they got a judgment, they can't take her money and they can't take her house. So they take the timeshare condo. Here's the other thing. If they get a judgment and wait until she passes, they could, even though they never have, they could put a claim against the estate. They never have, but they can. Okay? And if they do, they would only be entitled to what has accrued and not damages or anything like that. I just think that if it was my mom and dad, that's what I would do. But if you want to hire an exit team, it's going to be a minimum of about $4,000.
And that's the one thing we're trying to avoid, right? She called them and let them know that she wants out. I think, again, I know enough to be dangerous. It seems like her position is pretty good to where she doesn't owe anything on a mortgage piece or a payment.
Yeah, but they don't care. They don't care. If they want to resell it, they'll take it back. She's not going to get any money for it.
No, and she's not trying to. She just.
I know. Has she ever used it, by the way?
You know, my siblings have used it a few times, but now she can't travel, so she's not.
And where is it? And where is it? And for how long? And all that.
Their home base is Pagosa Springs, but they can use properties all over. So most of the time when family travels, they'll ask to use it when they go to Las Vegas. It's usually the one that they use.
And it's for a week? Is it for a week or is it for points?
It's for points.
It's the worst thing you could ever have. Worst thing in the world. I mean, it is really terrible. Like I said, if they don't just let her out, I would talk to them if I were you and say, look, if you don't let my mom out and just take it back, then she's just not going to pay. Good luck coming after her. She has nothing but Social Security. I would just play some hardball.
Okay.
The whole thing sucks. That's what I would do. That's all I can tell you is what I would do, man. I would definitely make sure that those jerks don't take advantage of her anymore.
And make sure her Social Security's going into a bank account that's labeled that.
Yeah, although that's not required, it's a great idea. You want to make sure that, she has an account that says, Martha's Social Security. Although if that's all she has and it's direct deposited, that's pretty easy. But again, just keep an eye out, and I would just forget it. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes.
A couple busy spots throughout the Denver Metro as we navigate the 1 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 northbound showing speeds in the 40s and 50s between Alameda and Colfax. Northwest of there through the Berkeley area, I-76 westbound at Sheridan Boulevard. Road work in the right lane has slow driving back from Pecos. We're seeing a 5-minute delay. Heading all the way east and leaving DIA, Pena Boulevard southbound. Lots of folks on the road leaving the airport. We're seeing slow driving from Tower Road to 56th. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies today, highs in the low 50s, overnight low of 25 degrees. Tomorrow, high 44, rain and snow. The current temperature in Denver is 50 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
When you get your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt, prepare to shout, Jackson Hew, yeah, from the rooftops. In the event you don't get your biggest refund, you'll get your money back, plus $100.
American Restoration 24/7. Please keep that name handy. I hope you never need them. They're for property catastrophes. What is a property catastrophe? Could be a fire, a flood, a fire next door. Maybe you have ash damage, smoke inhalation, or smoke damage, I mean. You could have asbestos contamination, black mold, whatever it is that makes your property catastrophized, as I put it. You want someone to come in and clean it, to stop the danger, and to help you rebuild even. And I'm going to tell you something. This entire industry is riddled with corruption, so don't go with anyone just because your insurance company offers them, because they only pay once, and you're screwed if it's a bad company. So I recommend American Restoration 24/7, 8337 AMREST. The EPA certifications, knowledge, and know-how with Rock and his team. 8337 AMREST or online, amrest247.com. The Art of Granite is a place that I would call immediately if I'm thinking about countertops. Now, a lot of people want to get their counters in the spring. Call ahead of time. Get your price on the phone. Have them lock it in. You can do that. In fact, he's the only one that'll give you a price on the phone. He's a great guy, Mitch Floria, theartofgranite.com. Now, whether you want granite, quartz, quartzite, marble, think of any substance, man-made or natural stone, and they do it. They tear out and haul away free, and they do the bathroom vanity free when you have the kitchen done. 303-386-5919, 386-5919, theartofgranite.com. Speaking of home improvements, did you know K&H Home Solutions is one of the oldest home improvement companies in all of Colorado, 65 years strong? I've known all the owners, including Lee Diamond, the owner right now, and he has decided to take on bathroom remodeling in an excellent way using the K&H heritage and really spirit of excellence to do bathrooms. Whether you want that shower done, get rid of that old ugly tub, get a beautiful new shower. Also, they have an eye on maintenance-free things. So get the bathroom done, lower your maintenance, increase the beauty and the value of your home. 303-421-7100. 303-421-7100, khwindows.com. Gary, do you know if we had any more signups during the show at all?
Today, I don't know.
Okay,
we did yesterday, though. I'm sure we planned for extra ones today, so we've got more and more.
What are you going to have there tonight? I'm going to turn off the mic.
Where are people?
All right, 10 seconds, guys.
901-SAFE. That's 866-901-2255 for your complimentary retirement and income book. And join Al Martinez for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, Sundays at 7 a.m. or 3 p.m.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. We're here to help you any way we can. And it's very interesting what's going on in the courts, both with stem cell therapy and, of course, more importantly, the presidential race. Now, Mark has listened to the oral arguments. And one thing I wanted to mention, and I think it's of utmost importance, Mark, according to, of course, biased, I call them biased press releases. Right now, when I go with press releases, I do, I look and see who's writing them, okay? And in this one, it's biased. But they said, and this is in opposition, they filed a brief with SCOTUS saying it's called, what do you call it, when they file a brief in
friend of the court.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's basically a motion saying we believe this, and I don't know why it's called an amicus. That's what it is, an amicus brief, where people weigh in. I don't even know, and I've never seen. I don't know the process. If the justices actually take into consideration the amicus briefs, but anyway, this one said, this should be denied. He should be left off the ballot, and here's why. They claim that in the entire case, if you read this brief, that their attorneys made no mention of him not being an insurrectionist, but that he should have immunity. Now, you're the one that listened to most of the oral arguments. I didn't. Were they making the point? Did they address the insurrection part at all?
No. It had nothing to do with it.
No, what did Trump's attorney address?
The fact that the state does not have the authority to remove him from the ballot.
Even if he did take part in insurrection, or did they not make
that wasn't their argument?
Okay, they said
they
quoted
didn't get into
they quoted
whether
Mark.
He was an insurrectionist or
they
not.
They quoted the attorney as saying, even if now I'm not, like I said, I didn't hear it. Even if a candidate were an admitted insurrectionist, the 14th Amendment still allows candidates to run for office. Now, I don't know if you heard that or not.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what the part of the argument on Trump's side was. Because 2/3 of Congress can overrun that. So if you are an insurrectionist and you do get elected because people vote for you and you get elected, then you would have to have Congress vote, I think it was by 2/3, in order to allow you to become president or whatever at that point.
And I want to
So
ask
there's
something.
a mechanism. In other words, there's a mechanism to overcome it, but the state doesn't have that.
No, I
the
get it.
The state does
I get
not.
it. But one thing we can all agree on that a lot of people bring up, it doesn't require a conviction for insurrection.
Well, that's not even part of the argument. Who knows if it does or not? And the argument from Colorado's side is we did convict him in the state of Colorado.
Well, they did not really. The Supreme Court found he took part in an insurrection.
Yes, no, they had a trial. It was a 5-day trial. Trump decided not to show up and prove that he wasn't, so he was.
And they claim that Justice Sotomayor speculated that they were gerrymandering the rule to benefit only their client, and that the 14th Amendment on insurrectionists should apply to everyone. Did you hear any comments from the justices like that?
No.
So anyway, they're claiming this press release from an organization called Common.
Tom, listen, the bottom line is none of it matters. Imagine if they actually did keep him off. Then Mississippi could keep Biden off. Then someone else could keep somebody else off. Then all of a sudden you have one state, who knows what state, is the only ones with both candidates on the ballot deciding who is the president for all 50 states. It's just ridiculous in its face. There's this thing called logic. You can't have states decide who the hell's on a presidential ballot. It's stupid.
You know, logic does side with you, but logic doesn't always side with the law. The law doesn't always side with logic, unfortunately. I mean, it gets to be really crazy.
There is no way this is not getting overturned. There's no way. The precedent would be unbelievable. You will have other states all of a sudden denying Biden. Think of that slippery road. Even the
Mark,
leftist of lefties,
Mark,
of the
I disagree
lefties.
with you I disagree with you on the Biden thing, because it doesn't leave open states, even if they said that in this case the state can do it because of insurrection. I don't believe that it says a state can take a president off for any reason.
Well, okay, it doesn't say they can take him off for insurrection. It doesn't say that. So they just said it does. Right. Or that's the argument they're making. So why couldn't you make up anything? Because he's stupid. We don't want him on here because he's stupid.
Okay.
Or better yet, let's not have stupid arguments. Let's go to something real. He gave a lot of money to Iran. Iran is using that money to kill Americans. Therefore, he is aiding and abetting the enemy, which, in my opinion, is just as bad as anything that happened on January 6th.
Well, okay, you're saying that if they let this argument through, what you're saying is they can let any argument through, and I don't think that's really I don't think it would. I think they would still have to show insurrection, because
and I
it
just
specifically
gave you a perfect,
but Mark, that's
so
not insurrection, is it?
Well, how the hell do I know? That's what the Supreme Court is there for. It sure is not the state of Colorado to decide.
Well, no, I don't think so either. I think that when it comes to national elections, like you said, it would be ridiculous if states get to decide, because you would have a limited number of states deciding the presidency for everyone, which would be crazy. I mean, I do agree with that. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. More coming right up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
A couple busy spots throughout the Denver metro as we navigate the 1 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 northbound showing speeds in the 40s and 50s between Alameda and Colfax. Northwest of there through the Berkeley area, I-76 westbound at Sheridan Boulevard. Roadwork in the right lane has slow driving back from Pecos. We're seeing a 5-minute delay. Heading all the way east and leaving DIA, Pena Boulevard southbound. Lots of folks on the road leaving the airport. We're seeing slow driving from Tower Road to 56th. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies today, highs in the low 50s, overnight low of 25 degrees. Tomorrow, high 44, rain and snow. The current temperature in Denver is 50 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll have the story of Brett Favre's miraculous game the night after his father died. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
ZeroResDenver.com. 3 rooms right now for $109 plus a free hallway and 20% off all their other services. And they have other services like duct cleaning. They do tile and grout cleaning, upholstery. They're really great. Let me just put it to you this way. Nothing gets your carpet cleaner, and this is what I call purified alkaline-based soft water, the best cleaning agent in nature. They call it ZR water, whatever you call it. They have a patented process, and I'm telling you, you will know the term really clean. That's what I call it. Zero Res Clean, really clean. 303-471-5150. I don't know how to describe it. Less water, cleans faster, dries faster, stays clean longer, no dirt attracting residue. You know, your carpets feel like new. They're like supple and soft and beautiful. That's what you want. Zero Res Denver, the Zero Res Clean, 303-471-5150. All right. If you're looking for estate planning, you're going to meet Keelan Park tonight at our seminar, and that's going to be tonight at 6 o'clock. We're not going to keep you a long time, but you'll get to meet Keelan Park along with Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. Keelan Park can handle any part of your estate. They'll do a complete analysis free of charge and then come back with recommendations and then flat rate pricing to get it done. LawKP.com. Give them a call, 970-818-8198, 970-818-8198. And if you'd like to meet them in person, come by tonight at the Delta Events Center, and that's at 6 o'clock at the Marriott in Thornton. For more information, go to rpcenter.com.
Imagine winning the grand prize.
Very, very sneaky, Tom.
I'm sneaky.
What'd he do?
You didn't even notice.
Yeah, see,
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, he was so sneaky. Very, very sneaky.
Did he fart? Did he fart without making a noise?
No, that's your specialty.
Oh.
We're all 8 years old in here.
You better believe it.
Thank God.
I don't want to be a grown-up and read some of this crap I'm seeing on the news.
They're actually, so the DOJ literally said they're not pressing charges because the guy is, he's basically stupid.
Who are you talking about?
Biden. If you really read it, it is the craziest shit you can imagine. They're saying the reason, everything he did was wrong with the documents, but when they interviewed him, he didn't remember anything, and he's very old.
He did
so
the
we
same
can't
thing
charge
as,
him because he's old.
He did the same thing as Biden, right?
No, we're talking about Biden.
I mean, excuse me, the same thing as Trump is what I meant.
Yes, but Trump was president, so he was allowed to take documents. Ish.
Well, not according to the Democrats.
But he thought he could. He thought he declassified him, so it was fine.
It's really amazing, though. His own DOJ is saying the reason we're not going to prosecute because he's old, feeble, and stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking crazy. That headline's going to be everywhere in the next couple days.
CNN was saying almost the exact same thing, that, hey, he willfully kept documents, and they're not charging him.
No, they're definitely not charging him.
Yeah.
But when you get into the reason they're not charging him, they're making the case for everybody in the world who doesn't want him to be president. He's falling apart. It's crazy.
Hey, Mark, do you need me to stop the stream?
Yeah, if you would.
Yeah. Just making sure.
I can always do that stuff too, but nobody ever lets me.
That's because you're not allowed to touch anything.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything.
Damn you. Damn you all. Everything all right? Damn all of you.
The way you're saying that makes me believe you. There's still a lot of confidence.
All right, listen, here's the quote. Here's the quote from the DOJ.
2 o'clock.
Yes.
He is a well-meaning elderly man with poor memory.
Studio, if you're looking for
That's fine. I don't need that. I need.
They did not say that, Mark.
I swear to God, his own DOJ is not pressing charges, even though it was a serious risk to national security, because Biden presented
that's
himself.
a little
be happening. I'll play some stunning audio that may be an admission. 630 K-How, Denver's talk station. Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, so summing things up today, folks. Stem cell therapy may be getting a boost from the Ninth Circuit, or the 11th Circuit, considering, or the Ninth Circuit, I'm sorry, considering whether or not stem cell is manipulation or not. We're also waiting for a decision on Colorado and whether or not Trump will be on the ballot.
You know, this Biden thing came out from the DOJ today. So listen to this quote from the report. You ready?
Go ahead.
The president's document practices present serious risk to national security. Biden presented himself as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with poor memory. That's why they're not pressing charges.
That actually,
I swear to God, the report says it. It's amazing.
Holy crap. I wonder if that'll count for me.
Big security risk, but no, Trump, I don't even want to get on this. It is so unfair what is going on in this country right now. It is unbelievable this is the U.S. of A.
Do you know what, though? Mark, honest to God, I don't know how much you read on both sides of this thing. I don't know. I'm not saying you don't. What I'm saying is
the report.
But no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in general. It is astounding, not just that Trump is disliked, but the extent of I have never seen anything more venomous in my entire life ever. I would say that the dislike for Trump would be akin to Hitler.
Well, I sure wouldn't go that far.
No, I'm not saying he's like him. No, I'm not saying he's like him. I'm saying what I see and what I read on the other side of the fence. Not the people.
It's because the media has pumped that into stupid people's heads. That's what they're supposed to believe because they're sheep.
You know what? I want Trump elected just so all these crazy lefties will leave town.
Well,
they never do. They always promise, but
it's
they
not
never
whether he'll
do.
be elected. I don't think he's electable. That's my own opinion. But in any case,
wait. What do you mean he's electable? What does that mean?
I don't think that he can win.
Okay, well, you said that the first time.
Yeah, of course I did, and I didn't shy from it. Listen, I want to tell people I'm not giving you my opinions on him. I mean, I got mixed opinions on him. They don't matter.
Well, so, is there any way in the world you'd vote for Biden? Let's just ask you, man.
No. But,
okay, thank you.
But I will say this, okay? If we're honest about it, okay, and again, I don't want to get into this right now, but the economy is doing great right now. Do you know that?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Layoffs are everywhere.
Well, actually, Mark, if you go to all the main indicators, I'd like to say that too, except you go to all the main indicators, and this economy is buzzing. You go to gross national product, you go to inflation, you go to any marker, unemployment, employment, you go to investment, spending, confidence. Everything is doing well, whether you like it or not. Listen, you know one thing, people probably hate me because I'm not gonna go crazy on one side or the other. But I'm telling you, when I look at indicators, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow you can tell me what's doing bad. Seriously, Mark, because I'm not carrying a flag here. I'm not trying to convince people what to do with their vote or with their life. I will tell them this though: retirement. We're all going to face retirement. And no matter what you are or where you are, you're going to want to have security. So that's what we're talking about tonight at the Delta Event Center in Thornton. So I want you to check it out, and you can get a seat there. I'll be there. Please, rpcenter.com, or call them 970-663-3211. And I mean that sincerely. I want you to really be careful about retirement. Avoid one-trick ponies, I call them. Someone who, no matter what, they have one thing to recommend. Avoid people who have schemes, or as we heard, real estate investment trusts. Nothing wrong with real estate investment trusts in and of themselves, but as you get older, these investments that require that you buy shares and liquidate shares other than the stock market, it's very difficult when you get in these private things that sell shares. Because unless there's a market for those shares, the issuers don't have to buy them back. And you could end up like that caller we had today, who basically, she had shares in something supposedly worth something, but if you can't sell it, what do you do about it? Then you run up against the problem with minimum distributions you have to take. It's starting at 72 or 73. You could be in big trouble. Anyway, don't forget rpcenter.com for tonight at 6. I hope to see you there. And 303 Martino, call anytime for help. We'll get back to you. Save all your problems.